Sissons was open and payoff pitch. And this one is hit high. So he would have gone in, not to get that puck first. He and Sissons. He scores! Tomas Hurdle! And it's 5-4 Vegas. Sissons was takes advantage and chance at a three-point play. They're not there, and Kessel takes advantage.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Distance was open and Hurdle missed him. He would have gone in, not impeded. 3.5 to go. Hurdle into the dot to Sissons. Back for Hurdle. He scores! Tomas Hurdle! And it's 5-4 Vegas.
On Sports 1440.
They're not there. And Kessel takes advantage and chance at a three-point play.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Payoff pitch. And this one is hit high in deep right field. Acuna back at the track, turns at the wall. It's gone. Okamoto's got a date at the Chop House, and it's 2-2 in the top of the second.
Well, a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching the show. Hope you're having a lovely Wednesday. We got a lot to discuss on the program. What did we say yesterday? We thought there'd be goals. Now, I didn't think there'd be 9, but I won't be shocked if game 1 is the highest scoring game of the Stanley Cup final, as the Carolina Hurricanes lose for only the second time in the playoffs. So now, at best, they could tie the 1988 Edmonton Oilers for best record in the playoffs at 16-2. Carolina would have to now win the next 4 games to do that. So not an easy task. I just showed you how dominant that 1988 Edmonton Oilers team was. But you know what's funny? They went 16. They still weren't voted the greatest team of all time. They gave it to the 85 team. So it's not always just about how you win in the playoffs that year. But they were dominant that season, no question. Also, you look at the Vegas Golden Knights down 2-0. Battle back on the road. Then it's 3-2. Then they lead 4-3, and then they lead 5-4 and are victorious. Carolina, in their 12 victories, have allowed 50 goals. In their 2 losses, they've allowed 11. So I think we all know kind of what's the key to their success in Colorado. It's limit goals against. So credit Vegas. They did something that really only Montreal could do in game 1 after Montreal had an 11-day break. So a little bit different than last night's game. I thought it was a very entertaining game 1 of the Stanley Cup final. You don't have, any real rooting interest. You're just a hockey fan. It was an entertaining game. There's lots of chances both ways. Heck, like you look at the saves on the breakaways in that first 30 minutes by Vegas. That ends up being the difference. Right? Stan Coven, when he has a breakaway, you score there. That could have been good night, Irene. So huge save in that moment. Coming up on the show, it's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province of PlayAlberta.ca. The gold ball jackpot, 10 mil tonight, Lotto 649, and the classic jackpot of 5 million. And of course, check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost, little NBA action tonight, the Spurs and the Knicks. We also got MLB, also on the eve of the CFL season. Of course, CFL will kick off tomorrow, and the Edmonton Elks will kick off their season on Saturday night. Tomorrow, it's Montreal and Hamilton. Friday night, Winnipeg is in Calgary. And Saturday, 5 o'clock, Edmonton start time. They're on the road in Ottawa. And Connor Halley, where are you at, Cons, for your Elks watch party?
Heading out to Sherwood Park, Sherlock's for this one.
Ooh.
Good spot to watch the game. I can tell you that much. Been
Nice.
going there for a few years with the watch party. So, yeah. Hopefully have people coming out to watch it.
Well, those things got pretty popular last year. You have a lot of people out there. So if you're a fan who likes to get together with fellow fans, why don't check it out? And Konza, he buys you a few beers. You have some fun. So it'll be a good time if you want to check out the green and gold on Saturday night. Rick Campbell will join us. Of course, he is on the Elks coaching analyst, coaching helper, coaching mentor. We'll find out kind of what Rick's role was during training camp and now what's it going to be in the regular season. Mike Rupp will be by. We got Yaremchuk, Struddy, Speck. We got Cam Tate. We'll get to our stats of the day. As always, we got a few beauties of those to fill your boots with. Other news, the Toronto Blue Jays, entertaining game last night, but they lose to the best team in baseball, Atlanta, who now has a 41-21 record, the best in MLB. Corbin on the mound today against Holmes. So decent pitching matchup between the two of them. And we'll see Sanchez. We didn't even talk about it yet. But what did you make of that Sanchez play on the weekend when he was out in the outfield and a fan throws a ball, and I kind of thought it was, that he was paying attention, but I don't know, as a young kid, supposedly, like clearly had an arm on him. Was it like rookie of the year? What the hell's going on? But you have to have the perfect throw to hit the guy in the wrist, and Sanchez hasn't. But it looks like he might play today.
It was a crazy one. Like, I saw people online, and we can't go with that for the fake outrage that people have going crazy with, but they're like, ban the kid.
Oh, geez.
It was a miscommunication. He thought he was playing a game of catch. Those things happen sometimes. So extremely unfortunate. Like you say, good reference as well. What an arm by the kid to do some damage. The accuracy was bang on as well. But I think that's just a funny story down the road, something you don't ever want to see happen, but it was an accident. I don't think we can get too mad about it. Not like this kid was just aiming. Like, if I hit him right in that exact spot, well, first I got to convince him to play catch with me or look in my direction. It was an accident. He'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, it's still weird though. Like,
very weird. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it, to be honest. I can't recall. Like, I know that that's something to base, and it's good for the players to do it now during the middle of it. Now, I know that sometimes I've seen it happen actually during the changeover of an inning, right? Because you have two fielders, and sometimes the guy's like, nah, you know what? Brings out a ball and plays catch. Usually, though, it's when you're at home, not on the road. That was the one little difference. I'm sure some road teams have done it, but it was still a little bit odd to see. And hopefully nothing serious. But that's a weird one. Why are you sitting out tonight? Well, he got hit by a baseball thrown by the fan. Pardon? No. That's what happened. That is a classic.
And he was kicked out too, hey?
Yeah.
Oh, well. I think the best case might just not to be interacting with fans playing catch. We've seen the worst case scenario happen with Josh Hamilton a few years ago. Maybe just cut that part out of it.
Yeah. Looking at the game last night between Vegas and Carolina, I think Carolina will, and Rod Brindamore, I always like Rod Brindamore's interviews because he doesn't pull any punches. He basically just said, hey, man, we made too many mistakes. They didn't play their game because their game is not the mistake. And the simple mistake was you look at the game-winning goal. Gostisbehere has his man and just gets beat to the middle of the ice. And normally they don't get beat on those plays. And that's how they lost, right? I give Vegas credit because Vegas can score. We said that coming in. Vegas has scored, I think, 4+ goals now in over half of their games in the playoffs. They can score. And that's key. But game 2, I sense, will probably be a little bit tighter. I don't think Carolina was in love with how many chances they gave out, but they created a lot too. They missed some really good opportunities. I mentioned the 2 breakaways. So I'm sure Vegas would like to say, hey, we gotta tighten up, defensively. But it is always what I love about the playoffs is when you have an unexpected significant output from a player like Braden McNabb picking up 3 apples last night in game 1 of the Stanley Cup final. First ever game of his career that he had 3 assists in the game. And did you see when he was at the press conference, he got asked about it, and Thomas Hurdle's at the table beside him. He's like, what? You got 3? Well, he didn't even know. And I think in that moment, he was more excited than anything else. And he had scored the game-winning goal. So anytime you have players on your team that come up with performances, usually it's a key goal. But in this case, 3 assists when you're not supposed to be that guy, that elevates your team even more. And that's, you look at the game 1 success, though, the Stanley Cup final cons. Oilers fans know it very well. They've lost game 1 in 2006. They lost game 1 in 2024. They lost game 1 in 2025. 76% in the Stanley Cup final. Team who wins first wins the series. So now Carolina is clearly the underdog. There's no debating that. If they win, it's not impossible. 24% of teams have done it. It just that's a big drop. To suddenly you go from, if you want to call it a pick'em series, now suddenly it's 76-24 based on history. And it's pretty good. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Actually, no, my bad. Did the Oilers win game 1 in 25?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're one of the 24%.
In overtime,
my bad.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah, nice goal.
That's right. Good memory. For some reason, I thought they lost. Wasn't close after that. They lost 4-5.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's 7 in a row now for Vegas too, hey?
Yeah.
They've been on a heck of a run. And like you said, McNabb, 3 assists. I think career high 22 in a full season.
Yeah.
Not his forte, but stepping up
when it matters.
100%.
Oh, and in the room, you have some fun with your buddies. Hey, man, I just saved my assist for meaningful time. That's what I do. Can I just say one thing, though? I understand why people do it, but it's such a lazy storyline. Did you see the people feigning that Mitch Marner had the greatest shot block of all time? He skated, he got in the lane, and if you look where the shot came from, he wasn't even in the shooting lane. The shot kind of came at an angle behind him. I get that some people really want to be like, ha, Toronto screwed up, and Mitch Marner's the greatest player ever, and he just needed to get out of Toronto. But did you notice Mitch Marner much in the game other than that? Not really. And that's a good news for Vegas because their best guys weren't their biggest guy. Brett Howden, again, Thomas Hurdle, who had gone a long stretch without scoring much. Mitch Marner had 1 assist in the game, but he wasn't a dangerous threat. And that's good news for Vegas. Anytime you can win a game where your best guys aren't carrying you, those are the games that I kind of look at almost like a bonus point. But I do think the claims of a shot block were a little bit, he got hit by the puck. I don't think that was one where, you bail up and you come out of nowhere and boom, you're in the shooting lane. Sorry, not buying it. I thought that was a little bit over the top of the people tripping over the Mitch Marner sacrificing. Is he the only guy that's ever blocked a shot in the history of the NHL playoffs? Come on now.
Leaves his feet and takes it off the inside of the knee.
Yeah.
Not typically how you'd block a shot.
Yeah.
I don't think.
And then some people that puck was going to go top shelf. It hit him in the knee. What are we talking about here? Oh my God, that was, yeah. Now, interesting was Nathan McKinnon blocked a shot and wasn't the same. So hopefully for Marner, he is not injured after taking that one yesterday. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Coming up, we're going to hear from Rick Campbell. I'm very curious kind of how this is going to play out during the season for the Edmonton. It's kind of like you have an additional coach on the staff, which is, to me, always a benefit. There's no way that that's a negative, right? Because Rick Campbell, he's their coaching analyst for the Green. And if you look at kind of where they're listed cons, if you go to the Elks webpage, it has head coach Mark Killam, then it has Maximic, Sherritt, and Rick Campbell on a line. Then you've got your O-line coach, your receivers coach, your DBs coach, special teams coach, and then defensive control coach, defensive analyst, etc. But I think Rick Campbell's going to have a significant input on how to help the coaches because he has tons of experience. I think he's never been an OC, and I think that might be it. Maybe not. I don't know if he's been a D-line coach. I'll have to ask him. But he's obviously been a head coach. He's been a special teams coordinator. He's been defensive coordinator. He's been a linebacker coach. He's been a DB coach. He's been a running backs coach. So, O-line, I don't think he's ever coached the line. Maybe we'll have to ask him. But he has tons of experience and should help out the Elks in that regard. We'll take a first break. When we come back, lots of texts, actually. I'll get to this. Hey, boys, anything new on the Oilers coaching search? No. Nothing public that I've heard. As I'd mentioned a while back, Peter Laviolette had been interviewed. Berube was getting interviewed. I can't confirm any other names. I think the Oilers are playing the patient game here to think that once the playoffs are over, they might get permission, but it's not a guarantee. That's what's key. It's not a guarantee. We'll return to the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact. Because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Our new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more. Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 air conditioning install company for slushy lovers. Because while a slushy keeps you cool as an 80s song for a moment, AC from Legacy keeps you cold as ice all season long. A permanent full-body slushy sensation keeping you cold as ice with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Keeping you cool without the brain freeze. That's how you build a legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Carius to Lowtide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place and Ice District.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care, exploring Edmonton from the Science Center to Horlock Park. I see your lawns and cringe a little. Weeds are here. And you've got them, Edmonton. Take your lawn back with our guaranteed lawn care programs and unlimited weed control.
Green Drop has been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. And they're in your community, keeping your yard looking beautiful with affordable lawn care packages that include fertilizer, weed control, drought fighter, and more. Visit greendrop.com.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
At Wendy's, get a 10-piece nugget small combo for just $8.99. That's right, $8.99 for 100% Canadian chicken, plus fries and a drink. That's just good nuggenomics. Only until June 14th. In restaurant at participating Wendy's locations. Taxes extra.
Portions of this hour brought to you by EWEL. Helping you finish your electrical project is their goal, from pot lights to electrical panels. The gear you need is at ewell.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ewell.ca, your partners in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Wednesday afternoon, we continue on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website, where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. NBA takes over tonight. NHL will be back in action tomorrow with Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final, and also tomorrow, the kickoff of the CFL season. The Edmonton Elks looking to get off to a good start. They are in Ottawa on Saturday night, and then, of course, they get a bye week, and then they'll have their home opener in 2 weeks from Saturday against the Montreal Alouettes. As we get to our CFL report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca, as we are joined by coaching analyst for the Edmonton Elks, Rick Campbell. Joins us. Rick, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. So take us through, Rick, kind of like your responsibilities through training camp. What was the main things that you were focused on?
Yeah, I've been helping out with special teams and sitting on defensive meetings. And my job really kicks into coming up is I'm going to do a lot of advanced scouting of opponents. So as the weeks go by, looking ahead to see what's going on. And it's been good so far. It's been a good training camp, and looking forward to the season starting.
So you do it. Is it hard to do advanced scouting in week one? Like, do you take stuff out of preseason, or is that kind of a hit or miss?
Sorry, just 1 second here. It is more difficult, just like you would think, because you don't have as much film on opponents. So you're starting, Otto's starting with a new coaching staff and some new players. So that does make it a little bit more challenging. But as the weeks go by and you get more film on people, obviously you get a better feel for what's going on with the teams in 2026.
So when you're doing an advanced scouting, and I can use this week for an example, because obviously you don't have a ton of it, Rick. So is it more so you're just looking at, okay, this, we know their quarterback, because everybody has some tendencies, right? Certain quarterbacks like certain throws, away you go. And like on special teams, when you're advanced scouting special teams, is it more just like how they downfield cover or how they like to set up their blocks? What do you do when you're breaking down the special teams in advanced scouting?
Yeah, so one is you want to anticipate who their players are going to be, who their specialists are. They have some new kickers there. I know some of those guys, who they are. So you're trying to get a beat on that, who their returner is going to be. They could have a new returner. And then they have a new special teams coach. So we actually look back at film from the past. So Jeff Reinbold's going to be their special teams coach. So we'll actually look at Hamilton film from a few years ago, with Dinwiddie being the head coach there. You'll look at Toronto film. So, there's always clues as far as of what coaches like to do. And then, just knowing players in the league and me being around, you can get an idea of, what to anticipate in week one. Everybody's going to have some new wrinkles from stuff they learned in the off season, but I think you can have some pretty good ideas. And the more homework you do, it pays off, that you do in the off season of just anticipating what's happening so that you can be on the ball as much as you can in week one.
So Rick, you've coached now. I want to ask you this, O-line and D-line. Are those the only two positions you haven't coached in the CFL?
And QBs. Yeah.
And QBs. Yeah.
Majority of my time I've been a defensive coordinator,
yeah,
a special teams coordinator, and then a head coach, for 11 years. And I spent 1 year on purpose before I became a head coach on offense in Calgary. I wanted to work with Dave Dickinson and John Huffnagel, guys that know what they're doing. And so I was able to do that, which made a big difference for me. And just wanted to have as much well-rounded knowledge as I could have.
Yeah, because I think when you start, like you were a DB coach, I think being a running backs coach, like position different coaches. So when you do your scouting, and how much of it is like, it's just sitting down, and when the games get going, will you be, conversing with JC or Maximic or Killam, just kind of on like in-game coaching stuff as well?
Yeah, I'll be on the headsets, and I'm actually going to be in the press box, which will be new for me, but you can see way more what's going on up there. That's something else I've been doing with Mark Killam some, and is just on some of the new rules and kind of what to anticipate on that front. So Mark knows exactly what he's doing, but I know when I was a head coach, I'd always like to have a sounding board to be able to talk to someone. So definitely during the game, as far as strategy goes, and also communicating to special teams. And just because you can see stuff from upstairs as far as what's going on down on the field, it's much harder to see when you're at field level. So I'll be communicating with those guys.
Okay. So knowing you were the head coach, you said you'd like to have the eye in the sky. Did you want your eye in the sky to tell you stuff or just answer your questions?
Well, there's a way to go about it. You don't want to talk too much, and you just want to maybe talk to listen ahead a little bit. So a little bit of that. And but there's a way to go about it. Just when you're trying to do your job, you don't want to be talking to too much on the phone. So, but there's a way to go about it. The good news is I know Mark well, and we have a past relationship from coaching together in Calgary. So I think it's going to work. It's going to work pretty well.
Rick Campbell joins us. So, Rick, obviously now you were in Ottawa, but it's been a few years, so I don't know. There's probably not much carryover, but in the CFL game, like there's not that many massive differences in what you're going to run offensively or defensively, is there?
Not a ton. Once there's 90% of it's going to be stuff you've seen before, but like I said, people are going to have some wrinkles, and when you coach in this league long enough, you kind of learn what the coaches like to do. So like I said, this week there's a lot of film being watched on Toronto, like I said, and on special teams on Hamilton, just because it's that's where those guys coached in the past. So it's kind of that chess game you're playing of trying to gain as much information as you can, when you're facing a new coaching staff in week one.
From what you've seen through camp, what are you most excited about on the Elks this coming season?
I have a really good vibe on the team. I'm the new guy on the block, so to speak, as far as this team goes. But the coaching staff and a whole core group of players here are in year 2. And just in my experience of being in the second year with the football team, that's really the chance to develop some chemistry and to grow. And there just seems to be a good energy around the team. I'm a unbiased guy coming in, so I wasn't here last year, so I'd like to think I see it with fresh eyes. But there's lots of reason for optimism, and at the same time, I think everyone around here understands that it takes a lot of hard work to get ready to play a game and to win games in this league. But I think there's a lot of good coaches and a lot of good players in here. And if everyone keeps working and works to get better, that there's no reason that Edmonton can't make some noise.
You look at winning is a cultural thing, and a lot of it is making the right plays at the right time, at key moments in a game, Rick. And you can learn to win. I think for some, you kind of learn to lose. You don't do it on purpose, but you have some teams they make the wrong plays at the right time. What do you feel is key to start to build a winning culture?
So when I talked about that year 2 thing, one is you need good players that can make big plays and big moments. And then the other thing I've been looking at around here that the coaches talk about, which is a signal of developing and growing, is they're talking a lot about situational football, big moments in the game, down and distance, score, all those things where you want to make sure you're putting the players in the best position. And so there's been a lot of those conversations going on, which, like I said, is a sign of people that have been together where you're developing that chemistry, all those things. So, it's a combination of players making the plays and the coaches putting them in as good a spot as they can to make them in the big moments. They always talk about in football, it comes down to, 5 or 6, plays that swing the game, but you never know when those plays are coming. So you need to be ready for all of them.
Rick Campbell joins us, coaching analyst for the Green and Gold. Rick, you kind of, getting back in, you mentioned that you're going to watch the game from upstairs and, you see the game differently from then. So it's a new challenge for you. I'm sure at some point in your career, you've been upstairs. It's been a while being a head coach for so many years, but what's the biggest benefit do you feel as a coaching eye you get from being upstairs?
Yeah, so one is the viewing angle. So any fan that's ever been to any sporting event, especially football, is actually, if you're sitting in the first row, it's harder to see what's going on in the game than if you're sitting in row 30 or row 50. You actually, if you're a fan of the scheme and what's going on, that's where you want to sit higher up so that you can see down on the field and see what's going on. So that's why you see coaches in football, everyone's wearing headsets because there's constant communication happening between the press box and down on the field. And so that's the biggest part of it. And also, I think it's good to have a few people removed from the bench where there's a lot of emotion and stuff going on. So if you're a little bit removed up there, I guess you can have some, good eyes and a clear head and, try to give people as much good information as you can.
For you, how do you want to challenge yourself? Like, what's the thing you're looking for that's going to help you as a coach this year?
So number one is I want to help the team. So whatever I can do to help this team for sure. And then I want to make sure I'm an expert on especially defense and special teams and game management and the new rules and all that. So I got a long road ahead of me still coaching, and I want to make sure I'm staying right on top of things. And so, like I said, the goal number one is to help the team, and goal number two is to make sure I'm, making myself a better coach every day.
And it's interesting. You want to stay in the game. I think that's abundantly clear, and which is good. Is it less like, I'm assuming not being the head coach, Rick, is a little like less stressful. You don't have as much responsibility. Can that be good after being kind of on the hot seat the entire time as a head coach? Are you able to exhale maybe a little bit and maybe, I don't know, even sleep better now that you're not the head coach?
Yeah. It's not, it wouldn't be my choice, but there's a difference where you're not, when you're the head coach, everyone's walking to your office to ask questions about whatever the topic is, whether that's an equipment guy or a medical staff or an assistant coach or whoever that is. So, but I would say it's a healthy thing to step back. And like I said, I want to make sure I'm doing a lot of good listening and learning and doing all those things and make sure I'm growing every day as a coach. And that's the plan. So I will try to take a deep breath, but I know when it becomes game day again and the ball's kicked off, it gets stressful for every coach, no matter what you're doing.
When you look at the offensive line, because I know you focus lots on the defense, so I'm sure we've been watching the reps of your defense against the Green and Gold's offensive line. It's basically all new players except at the center position, and big bodies, a little bit more nastiness on the O-line. Having coached as long as you did, Rick, can you kind of explain why you feel that like the biggest advantage this improved O-line will give to not only the quarterback but to the entire offense as a whole?
Yeah, they always talk about in football that you win games on the line of scrimmage, and it's true whether it's the O-line or the D-line. So protecting the quarterback's a premium in this league, because the quarterbacks are what make things go, especially in any football, but especially in the CFL when you're 3-down football and you got to throw it. You got to be able to pass protect. So that's a huge part of it. And then, being able to run the ball when you need to is a key to it too. So the O-liners not always the guys that are on the front page of the paper or, getting all the headlines, but obviously hugely important part of the team for sure.
Rick, always good to catch up with you. From the defensive side, because I know you focus on that a lot, one last one. What do you feel is going to be the biggest strength for Elks fans to notice about the defense this coming season?
Like I said, I'm the new guy in the block. So the thing I'm excited about just watching the defensive guys is they have a coaching staff that's been together for a year. They have a whole core group of players here. So you just start from a higher level. So when it's new coaching staff and new players, you're just getting to know each other. But like I said, when the conversations in training camp are about situational football and about, the details, trying to iron all those things out, you're headed in the right direction. So I think it's going to be good. And the good defenses are ones that play well as a unit. And so, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. And like I said, as long as everybody keeps going and growing, then I think good things will happen.
Well, Rick, enjoy it and enjoy being upstairs on Saturday night.
All right. Thanks for the time.
You betcha. That's Rick Campbell, coaching analyst for the Green and Gold. I think that's a great hire for the team. You got a guy with a boatload of experience who understands, Rick doesn't have a personality of being overbearing or trying to step outside of what his role is going to be. I think for Mark Killam, when you hire people, you want people that are going to challenge you in a good way. Like they can see stuff. They've got experience and, know when to communicate when you see something. Rick's being a head coach. That's why I want to ask him, how does that relationship work between the communication of the coach on the sidelines and the guy upstairs? It probably don't, there's certain times that you give him information, or do you wait until he asks? Because, he's still trying to focus on it. You're not talking in his ear the whole time. Hey, they're playing a 3-4-3. Well, there's no point yelling at the coach at that point because they can't signal it in anyway. So I think it's about adjustments sometimes. And if you pick up something, and guys who have coached that long, there's always a tell somewhere. And maybe some teams, and sometimes it's individual players in certain mannerisms that they do, how they line up, all those sorts of things. And coach upstairs, you can pick out one of those. All of a sudden, maybe you can exploit it. So I'll be curious to see what they do offensively and defensively and special teams. Offensively for the Elks this year, I don't think there's any excuses. for them not to be aggressive. I've talked about it a lot. I think Saturday, and I wrote about it today at elksnation.ca, and there's lots of reasons why this is the biggest game in Elks franchise history. Now, they haven't had a lot of big games. Do you know what the Elks record is, Connor Halley? Just the Elks version of the green and gold. Do you know?
As a whole?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, not good. Like 200 winning percentage?
25, well, a little higher. 290.
Okay.
They have they're 25-61. They went 3-11, 4-14, 4-14, 7-11, 7-11. So one hand you can say, wow, that's brutal. But there is slow progress, albeit way too slow. But 3-11, then they went 4-14, 4-14, 7-11, 7-11. I know David Sanchez said he doesn't think the green and gold have improved. And I'm kind of like, well, that's an interesting one. All you got to do is just look at their O-line. How can you tell me their O-line isn't better than last year? It's way better. Now, that doesn't make them the star of the West. But if your O-line's better, I think your offense can be better.
Where did they get worse?
That's
what I would say.
Well, yeah, like you have, as Rick said, and he would know, continuity in coaching matters. Mm-hmm. So everybody knows it now. Your defense returns all your secondary guys, right? It returns your linebacking core with Mogensen, who played last year. So you kind of have 4 guys who played in your linebacking core. You look at your D. Now, there are some new guys in the D-line, but the D-line didn't get after the football last year. Who'd they bring in? Malik Carney. He gets after the quarterback. So I don't see how I can say they're deep. Now, I will say the injury to Brandon Bowman, that's not good on the number 4 on the D-line. That's terrible news with the Achilles, right? But like Robbie Smith was hurt basically last year. Serezna did very little. Brinkman didn't do a whole bunch. Like their D-line didn't do very much last year. I would think they'll be better because it's going to be hard to be less after the quarterback than they were last year. And then the offensive side, the O-line's way better. Running back, there's no way the ranking's any worse. It'll be hard to be better because he was really good. Receiving core, I think it's better. From the Mac is a go-to guy now, and he's not an elite receiver for me. That's like my expectations of Mac are maybe different than others. Cons, like, he had one great year. I think he could be a good receiver. I don't know if he's a dominant receiver. I hope I'm wrong. I'm just not sure if he's a dominant receiver based on 1 year. But if Mathis stays healthy, that just gives him a lot of size. I really liked the development last year of Keon. I think that helped in the receiving core. Robustelli, good receiver. Luther is the great unknown on the receiving core. Their kickers, they had the best punter in the league last year. I don't see any reason why he's not going to be good this year. Blanchard had a little bit of a slower start, but got pretty good as a place kicker. He should be fine. Leaks, to me, my question more is the coaching staff going to start the season aggressively? That's the big one for me, Cons, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So, but I agree with you. I think that's a fair point. Where'd they get worse?
Yeah. And the last few years, the starts have been what have crushed them. Like they've had those winning streaks kind of midway through the season. How many times, like Labor Day, you got to win 1 or 2. They've had that point, but they just have started so poorly. So get a good start, see what happens. I'm with you. I think the receiver position, I would say that could be the great unknown for me. We'll wait and see. I like Luther. I like what he can do when you get the ball in his hands. Same with Austin Mack. Like when he had that big season, hit over 400 yards of yak yards. Like that's what we want to see him, turning those 5-6 yard catches into 12, like getting those first downs, keeping the defense on the sidelines. That's where he can be very valuable and important. He's got to stay healthy. That's been a bit of a concern. But to say this team is the same, I'm not buying it. I think having this roster and then just the coaching staff being together, bringing in Campbell, if they don't have a better record this year, we got a problem. Something went wrong.
Yeah, well, that's totally valid. Quick break. We'll return. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Mike Rupp joins us next.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shack-abated memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shack is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces. Exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas, just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff, before the first snap. It starts with you locking in your season seats. This is Edmonton Elks football. The only way to experience it is being there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. The Elks home opener kicks off June 20th against Montreal. Your season seats are your way in. Get yours now at goelks.com/season seats. Edmonton Elks. Our city, our year.
We just dropped a massive payload at Nisku 4. It's time to unload some deals at the Truckload of Savings event. If you've been waiting to upgrade, we've backed up the savings with unbeatable offers on our toughest Fords. Right now, haul away exactly what you need and take advantage of massive price drops across our entire lineup, including the legendary Ford F-150 for the job site or the weekend getaway. Shop the Truckload of Savings at niskuford.ca. Nisku Ford, above expectations.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
.247, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440. Sports 1440.ca. YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Unfortunate day for Felix as he loses in the quarterfinals of the French Open. It was set up for him, man. But, geez, all the big dogs. Zverev is the top seed left, I think, 3rd overall, right? I think that's it, Cons. Yeah. Like, even on the women's side, big seeds are out too. So it's been been the tourney of upsets. And either way, on the women's side on Saturday and the men's side on Sunday, a first-time winner will be announced across the board at the French Open. So now let's go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. Stop in. Oh, the rain stopped. You're feeling better. You can sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for only $1 all summer long, only at McDonald's. As Mike Rupp, Stanley Cup winner, Game 7 hero, analyst on the NHL Network, and my co-host on the DFO Rundown podcast, joins us. Rupper, good afternoon. How you doing, my man?
What's up, Greg? How you doing, buddy?
I'm pretty good. I'll say this. Game 1, you can't ask for much more entertainment in that game. I thought it would be the highest scoring game of the series, and with 9 goals, it might turn out to be like that. I hope I'm wrong. I love offense, but like it was, the one thing, Rupper, when you watch that game and then you listen to Rod Brindamore today, like doesn't pull any punches. There's lots of part of his team's game he didn't like defensively.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny when you kind of look at it, though. Like I think John Tortorella would say the same thing. But they won and Carolina lost. So you're going to kind of maybe, I guess, lean into that a little bit more if you're Carolina. But, just the fact I just saw that number as far as just giving up a 2-goal lead, and what was it? The stat was something crazy that we saw today where in the Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals, like teams that have had a 2-0 lead are 55-0. And this was the first time it's happened where you kind of blow that. So it's not a good feeling, especially for a team that when Carolina gets a lead, they usually can shut it down. In today's modern game, I feel like pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, it's they had a lot of elements of their game that were sloppy, but they controlled a lot of that game, too, at different stages. It's a pretty evenly played game. And, it kind of felt like everything that when we talk about the path for Carolina, the teams they've played, and you're talking about Montreal and Philly and Ottawa, like all the breaking down we've done to those teams is how do you manage the pressure of Carolina, and all the clips that I watched were very similar to the clips we saw last night, but the roles were reversed.
Yeah.
You had this forecheck, the heavier game, just kind of rushing the Carolina defense and their players. And Rod Brindamore talked about it. He said, I don't think we handled the pressure very well and we didn't execute. So, but at the end of the day, you scored 4 goals. Like for a team that even against Montreal, like they very rarely scored 4 goals in that series. They had a hard time scoring 3 in a lot of games. So it wasn't all negative. Certainly wasn't their best game, but I would probably say the same thing about Vegas.
Yeah. Well, I think, both teams will want to clean things up a little bit, but, both teams are up, like they can generate chances. It's funny. They are both good defensive teams, but they're both teams that can capitalize on mistakes. And I really thought that's how Vegas won the game last night. You just look at the game-winning goal, and Gostisbehere obviously scored a huge 4th goal, but he just simply lost Hurdle on that play.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a one-on-one battle that you lost, and Hurdle scores the eventual game winner.
He was chasing them the whole shift too. So they come into the zone and that man on man, like that's the thing. And you got to give credit to Tomas Hertl for kind of keep moving, because he kind of had Gostisbehere on his hip and cut. And Shane kind of tried to pinch him off at one point, but that's where the size differential kind of came into play. So, that's the one thing I thought was in disarray, which we usually don't see for Carolina. Some of the other goals as well. I think it was the Carlson goal where you had Marner that pass below the goal line. You had 3 of the Canes down low below their own goal line. They're kind of like shuffling around. They're very indecisive of who's got who, and we usually don't see that from them. So again, I think it was game 1. There's better decision making to be had, but there's some kind of brain farts, if you want to say, in the game, and a lot of it was their defensemen. They were getting rushed, or in this case, like you mentioned with Gostisbehere, just being a step behind.
Yeah, and so you look at it, and we see Carolina. We saw the rebound in the first series against Montreal, but Rupper, it's the Stanley Cup final, and you played in it. It's different, and historically, now Edmonton did win game 1 last year and then lost. So you can lose game 1 and come back and win, but it's pretty rare, right? Like 24% of the time you do. And so Carolina, and they're at home and they lost game 1. So the odds are even actually lower for them to come back in the series. But it could be a long series. But game 2 now becomes almost a must-win game for Carolina. That's why there's so much more pressure suddenly on them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of pressure. Obviously, you can't go down 0-2, or you don't feel very good about that, especially on home ice. But Rod Brittamore kind of touched on it last night too. And I like listening to him speak because he doesn't pull any punches. Like he just states, he kind of like not overly wasn't too abrasive with it, but he basically said he needs more from that top line. Like I just don't think that they're going to be able to win the cup if that Jarvis, Svechnikov and Aho line isn't generating. And then you can kind of sit there and think, we were looking at it today, can you change lines? No, I don't think you can. Like I don't think there's a shakeup because those other 3 lines have been so good. Those other 3 lines underlying numbers were awesome in last night's game. I mean, you're not going to touch the Stankoven line. You're not going to touch the Stahl line. They've been both those 2 lines have been dominant throughout the playoffs. And that 4th line has been such a difference maker as well. So it's kind of, I think at the end of the day, you got to sit there and say, hey, these are our big boys. They've got to figure it out. This is why they get paid the big bucks. And they're capable of doing it. But, it's getting long now. You start looking at just their combined expected goals for percentage in the playoffs. They're sub 50. And this is a team that, the way that Carolina plays, their numbers are kind of inflated. They're always with the puck. So they're, a 55 rating for a team like Carolina maybe would be like another team's like, it'd be like another team's 60. You know what I mean? Like it's just a little bit of a different scale and the way you kind of look at it. Them not controlling play in the path that they've had it's alarming. And I just don't think Carolina is going to be able to win this cup if that line doesn't get going.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Mike Rupp joins us. When you look at Vegas and, you get down 2-0, you're on the road, and heck, it could have been 3-0. That, like, you look back in the game, the breakaway save on Stankoven might have won them the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, how about the breakaways in general, though? There's just too much. I mean, too many odd man rushes or breakaways early on in that first period. Like, that's one thing that kind of going into, we talked about that with Carolina. It's so funny how many similarities. I guess I didn't realize it. I mean, certain things, the way they defend, the way their special teams are, like you knew that they are similar in some ways, but just storylines going through the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, Western Conference. And then we get here, I'm like, man, everything I'm saying now, that's exactly what we said about the other team, prior. And, it's very, very interesting the way that these things kind of play out with these 2 squads. But, whether it's special teams, the way they manage games, the way they defend, all that stuff is so similar. It's just going to be, it's fascinating because, Vegas gets the edge in game 1, but, you'll see how Carolina reacts. And it's going to be a battle, just like every series is, of momentum. Both these 2 teams are really good at it. I just think so far we haven't seen Carolina have to grab it back. They usually grab a hold of it and never let it go. And that's not going to happen in this series.
Mike Rupp joins us. Mike, when you're in the building, you can always see things a little bit different than when you're watching at home, right? They're just like, there's nuances of the game. I know you watched them. Is there anything that stood out for you in the game that caught your eye last night?
So it's a really interesting thing. I don't know if you caught it post game. There was the penalty kill where Brett Howden breaks his stick. And yes. I know we talk about this a lot, but the post-game question, it was just kind of, I think Johnny Lazarus actually brought this up, so good on him. He was kind of asking this to Howden and then to Torts, as far as like, he left the D zone to go get a stick, and you're at a risk there. You got to be calculated. You can't just blindly do it. But it was a really great play, and Tortorella was asked about it afterwards. He goes, that's what we tell our guys to do. Like and if you think about it, like these power plays in the National Hockey League, you're talking about the best talented players in the world. You know what I mean? Like these guys, if you're standing out there and you can take a breath and you can look at the whites of everybody's eyes and you can locate, oh, that guy doesn't have a stick, you're going to exploit that, or you're going to get, it doesn't mean you're going to score, but you're going to get some looks. So you better go get a stick as soon as you possibly can. So I thought that was something that was really unique in the game, where you see him go and you kind of hold your breath for a second. You're like, oh no, here we go. This is something. And it didn't end up turning into anything. So I give them credit for kind of having those things in place. I think it's a brilliant move.
Yeah, well, it's one that I know we've discussed it on our show. We've had people say, like, why would you play?
Yeah.
You're kind of useless without a stick. Like, I understand if the defenseman breaks his stick, that you get the forward to give him the stick, especially when you're defending in the first or the third, right? Because it's not the long change. And you can get there and you cheat up and now the stick guy is right there. Right? You bring the down to the end of the bench, even if you're a forward, right? You bring your stick down there. You don't have to go that far out of the zone.
Yeah.
To grab the stick and come back in. But even if it was the long change in the second period, it makes sense to take a few seconds, as you said, okay, look, okay, you know what? They've got possession, boom, down, up, and see what can happen. Because otherwise, we've seen it so often, teams go right at the guy without the stick, as they should, because everybody who plays hockey, the worst feeling in the world is when you got to skate around with no stick. Like, it's so dumb, but you're just like, God, this feels so awkward. I don't like it. You're really kind of useless. Like you might get your hands on a guy here or there, but the odds, and the common sense tells you those few seconds are better than you just being useless for 25 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, even think about it. So say you guys play it great and you don't have a stick and you get an opportunity to clear how hard it is. And we see, I mean, it's a comedy sketch. Sometimes you see guys trying to kick it out of the zone. They're trying to pick it up and throw it almost out of the zone. Like, it's just, you get a chance, and it's communication. Everybody else on the ice recognizing too. Hey, I might go pressure in the corner here. This guy shows his numbers. I'm just going to go dummy this puck in the corner, buy you a couple seconds. But then, Brett Howden also mentioned that the entire bench, he's watching the play. The entire bench, they passed the stick down, got it as close to in zone as they can, and they were yelling, screaming, "It's here! It's here! When you want it, it's here!" I love that type of communication.
Yes, it's very true. So, Mike Rupp joins us. One last one for you, Rupper, as we're down to two teams, and we know that Nashville's got their new general manager. The Montreal Canadiens, now that their season is over, and you're able to exhale and breathe and look at their team, and I know everyone's like, "Oh, they were tired." I'm sorry, I just get tired of the tired excuse, because if you get tired by having to play 14 games, then you're never going to win a cup. Because it's a longer battle. Like, hey, you know what? Carolina, sure, they had more rest, but Montreal didn't lose that series because they were tired. Patrick Laine said that, hey, you know what? I wasn't that hurt. He now qualifies for a bonus-laden contract if somebody wants to give it to him. Do you think Patrick Laine could even play enough to be a 20-goal scorer again?
It's tough because the thing with Patrick Laine, remember when he went to Montreal, everything he was touching was golden on the power play. He was scoring, it seemed like every single night. He just, the problem is he just doesn't have enough elements of his game. So when he's cooking it, when you're getting a goal every night from him on the power play, you can live with whatever else. Like, if any player is going to give you, if you're going to be cooking at maybe not even every night. If you're going to be operating on a 50, 60 goal rate, it doesn't matter what you do around the ice anywhere else. Like that's enough. But the problem is that as soon as there's a cold spell of 3 games, he's not giving you anything. You don't really have anything else going. He's not a forechecker. I don't love his compete on pucks. He's not a great skater. He doesn't add 5-on-5 games. He's an elite shooter. He's a specialty player. So, I mean, I think at this stage of the game, how long he's been in the league, like, that seems to be him. Now, is it worth taking a chance? Yeah, because the one thing he does is really hard to do in this world is score goals. So, I think he has to be on a team that's very well insulated. I think he has to accept a certain type of role. It has to be a bonus-laden contract, like you mentioned. I would be interested in giving him a shot there, but I also would love to have a conversation and find out where he's at and where he wants to go with this, because it's not going to be. He has not worked out in places. It hasn't been because of bad situations. I think it's the player not giving enough, and that to me is not going to be corrected by going to a new team.
Yeah, well, you're right about like his. The thing about Laine was, he can shoot bullets and he's got a great shot, but 5-on-5, he was kind of a liability because of his skating. And
so hold on. Let me throw something else out there. So, and this is going to go to, we're going to talk about the best goal scorer to ever play the game in Ovi. Okay. Early Ovi scoring goals. He scored goals his entire career. but he used to hit like a truck. So he had those other elements. So if there's any cold streak, at least you had that. But I will say, like in the later years, if you start looking at some of the models and how players, what they bring to the team, whether it's points, whether it's, gameplay, all the different underlying numbers, Ovi doesn't really bring much. But the thing is, he still scores 30 goals. And that's like a bad year. You know what I mean? So, like, at the end of the day, you can say what you want. Like, Alex Ovechkin does not really affect the game in a positive way if he's not scoring. He's not really hitting as much as he used to. But he also still can score 18 goals in 20 games. And, if Patrick Laine can get to a level of doing that, you could live with it. But I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, especially 5-on-5.
Yeah, like Ovi was still top. He scored 32 goals this past year, which still puts him in, I think it's tied for 32nd. In the NHL, which is basically, like a top line guy as a goal goes, right? Like he's not a dominant player because you're right. Like, Ovi for the first 15 years of his career was almost like a unicorn in the NHL. There wasn't guys who scored like that and hit like that. Like it was, I remember talking to, Strutty joked about it. He's like, man, usually when you're like, okay, you got the skill guy, I just got to worry about him not embarrassing me. Ovi was different. It's like, I got to worry about him running me through the glass because he was bigger than most defensemen.
Yeah, hardest hit I ever took in my career, Alex Ovechkin. I'm 6'5", played at 240. He saw me coming, I saw him coming, and I thought, here we go. I'm gonna take a lick at the one of the best players in the world. Hit me so hard, right in the sternum with his shoulder. I felt like my shoulder, my front of my shoulders just touched each other in the front. I'm like, and I remember I got the wind knocked out of me. I was like almost embarrassed too. I'm like, because that's an area like I would like to think I should be able to be better than Ovi. And the one thing in this world of hockey that I could do better than him, he conquered me in that too. So he was a special one.
He was a freighter. Like he liked to hit. Like the early years when Ovi came in the league, like he played with such excitement. I talked to lots of guys who played with him, and they're like, man, like Ovi was young at heart for the longest time, and just like to have fun. And some people took it, well, he wasn't too serious because he didn't win. And he's like, no. Yeah. And I always laugh when they said, oh, he didn't show up. I'm like, dude, the guy would score 14 points in a 7-game series. It's not his fault they lost in game 7.
Yeah,
right? Like, give me a break. But he was, God, he railroaded a lot of guys. I might have to go look up that hit, Rupper.
Send it to me. Send it to me if you find it, because I may have had some snot bubbles coming out of my nose on that one too.
Awesome, Rupper. Enjoy it. Where are you? Are you outside like a high school there in the brick building?
No, we're getting around to golfing. We just got done shooting the show, so nice. We got the crew. We got a little setup out here, so we're gonna go try to play some golf.
Oh, well, buddy, keep it on the fairway.
All right, we'll try.
Thanks, man.
All right, enjoy, buddy.
There you go. That's Mike Rupp from the NHL Network. Geez, that's quite the clubhouse. You see that, Cons, when he moved his camera around? Where are those guys? They're not playing at the corner store golf course out there, it doesn't look like. So we'll have to find out where he was playing. But I got to try to find that hit, man. Like, Rupper is a big dude. Right now, Ovi was a man-child, and he could skate. But what did Rupp just say? He was 6'5", 240. And, like, he is in shape 240. Like, you see Mike Rupp right now, and I'm sure people out there, like, there's just some guys that are just big. Right? Like, he looks like if Rupper would have trained for it, he'd be big enough to be like a D lineman. Those guys that play at 280, Cons, because they got to eat way more. Hockey, you can't play at 280 very much, right? And it's just a little bit different in football, but he is a big human. And so if Ovi's running him over, that just shows you how strong the Ovi man was. Quick break. We'll return. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Here's a Con Man of Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. You're looking for a vehicle? The rain has stopped. You want to get in? Over 15,000 vehicles to choose from. You've probably been searching online. Now you can go check it out at one of their 73 locations, goauto.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Lightning head coach John Cooper was named the Jack Adams Award winner as the top coach in the NHL this season. It was the third time he was a finalist, first victory as he led the Lightning to a 50-26-6 mark, good for second spot in the Atlantic Division. Game 1 of the NBA Finals goes tonight from San Antonio. Spurs and Knicks tip-off set for 6:30 in the majors. Jays in action tonight at 5:15, taking on the Braves once again. We'll join that game in progress on our AM feed here on Sports 1440. One game underway right now. Mets lead the Mariners 5-1. Bo Bichette, 3 hits, 2 RBIs for New York. in the bottom of the fourth. Later on tonight, you got the Guardians and the Yankees. Brewers host the Giants. Athletics get the Cubs. Angels, Rockies, and the Dodgers meet the Diamondbacks. Finals from earlier today had the White Sox flanking the Twins 8-0. Braves falling at home to the Tigers 7-2, and it was the Marlins over the Nationals by a score of 4-1. The Riverhawks on the road again tonight in Victoria, taking on the Harbor Cats. First pitch, 7:35. Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime run at Roland Garros has come to an end as he suffered a 4-set loss to Italy's Flavio Cavoli in the quarterfinals. And in the WNBA, Toronto taking on the Liberty, tip-off 5:30. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Tyler Yaremchuk from Oilers Nation and Daily Faceoff. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary. Spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's AquaCentral reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the 2 best names in the boots business.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Hope you are having a lovely Wednesday afternoon. Sure nice. I like the rain, but it's got pretty soggy there for a while, so it's nice to get it out. I know golf courses that were closed and some of them are reopened, which is awesome. So for many of you, you got the itch getting back out there just for the frustration. It's amazing. Or the excitement, depending on how good your game is, or maybe just the enjoyment because you don't really care. Either way, that's good. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. The Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Remember, if you do gamble, use your Game Sense. Go to GameSenseAB.ca, and they can help you ensure that you stay within your limits. Now, we got lots of texts to get to. Yaremchuk's going to join us in a second. Hey, Gregor, do you think this COSA talk has some legs? I don't see why it's not happening from Gordy. Well, a few things here. You know, you look at Detroit, and if I look at their situation as a team, and I know they got young Augustine coming out of college this year, right? And you've got John Gibson signed as your starting goaltender. Why can't Kosa just be your backup and Augustine is in the minors? Why? If you think Kosa's that good, because right now, if you trade him, I don't know how much trade value he has. Like, yes, he was a first-round pick a few years ago, but he's a first-round pick who still hasn't played in the NHL. I don't know how good he's going to be in the NHL. Now, it would basically be a projection to think what he'd do, right? Like, he's played one NHL game. And he's had good numbers in the American League. Right? 913, 911, 915. His save percentage, pretty consistent over 3 years. Right? Can't get much more consistent than that, honestly. It's pretty close. But it's the AHL. And, his goals against average, again, very consistent. 2.41, 2.45, 2.33. So, like, if you're Edmonton, sure, you could go out and acquire Kosa, but you still need a third goalie. Because what if, as a young goalie, he struggles? Then what do? Who's your backup? You're just going to keep going to him? So, you could go out and acquire Kosa. What's the cost going to be, number one? It all depends. Like, and we got Kevin Woodley next week because we're breaking down some of the younger goalies. And Kevin's being the first one, and that's Kevin's job. He studies all the goalies, does tons of analysis. I'm not sure there's a goalie guy out there in the media world who does more on specific goalies in Woodley. And he even says, he goes, man, like, you're projecting it, but you don't really know. And so if I'm Detroit, if I'm not, like, maybe he's going to be really good. And so we have him, and then we have Trey Augustine. Well, Augustine has to play, I would think, in the American League. You don't have to rush him. Let him play. And then Kosa can be your backup in Detroit. Maybe he plays 25. Maybe he plays 30 games. Depends how he plays. So I don't know if Detroit has to trade him. I get why a lot of people in Edmonton want him. I totally understand it. I'm just not sold that Detroit is in like a rush to have to deal him. Yeah, like I heard, he's not happy. But why wouldn't he be happy now? You've got Augustine's coming, but you got John Gibson. So he's your veteran starter. And if you're a young goalie, you want a veteran starter. Can help you with a lot of just the mental part of the game and everything else. And by the way, John Gibson's in the final year of his deal. Now, he's only 32, so he's not old. But let's say Kosa comes in and plays great and Augustine plays great in the minors. Maybe Detroit says, well, geez, maybe we'll go with both young guys. I just don't think they're in a rush to trade him. I don't see why they'd have to be. Like, if I'm Detroit, man, I am focused on other things. Like, my starting goalie was good last year. I think I got Kosa. Now, maybe they want a veteran too. I don't know. But as a backup, I guess that's the only reason why they trade him. I'm not sure why now is the time to do it. Right? I just don't, I don't get it. 833-401-1440, 833-Ford-1440. Hey, Gregor, would you trade Savoy, Howard, Akey, and Jari for DeBrusk, Atu, Ratu, Tolopilio, and a first-round pick, Minnesota's? No. So I'm trading Savoy and Howard, two young guys. I'm getting Atu, Ratty, DeBrusk, Tolopilo, and okay, well. But now who's my goalie? I've freed up money. But why am I Vancouver? Why am I making that trade? I don't know what Bo Akey is. I definitely don't need Tristan Jari because I got Demko. I've already got a goalie making $8 million. Why the hell do I want another one making 5.3? So no chance they would do it. None. Zilch. Zero. And like Atu Ratty, how good's he going to be? Like I think a lot of people are forgetting. You know how many points Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson, Matt Savoy had after the Olympic break? The Oilers played 24 games. You know how many points he had?
How many?
19 in 24 games. And people are just wanting, we got to trade Matt Savoy because his first time in the playoffs wasn't what I expected. Oh, my goodness. Take a deep breath. Young players take time to develop. Matt Savoy's development has actually been very good. First year in the AHL, played 20 minutes a night, played in every situation, gained tons of experience. Second half of the year, really produced points. Now he comes up to the NHL. The guy ended up playing the most penalty kill minutes of any forward on the team for the Oilers as a rookie. Clearly the coaching staff trusted him. He can kill penalties. And then down the stretch, now Leon Draisaitl got hurt. Somebody had to step up. Matt Savoy had the third most points on the team behind only Bouchard and McDavid coming out of the Olympic break. 19 points in 24 games. Like, what are we talking about? Right? What are we talking about? I think people, I would calm down on talk about Matt Savoy. Honestly, this guy's a 9th overall pick. This guy was a dynamic offensive player at every other level. He had good point production in the American League, which is hard league to score in as a rookie. As a 20-year-old rookie, I would add. And now as a 21-year-old rookie in the NHL, down the stretch, 19 and 24. Yeah, the playoffs didn't go the way you wanted. I can give you a laundry list of guys first year in the playoffs is tough. Sometimes the second year is tough. But wanting to sprint to want to trade Matt Savoy, I don't get it. You're a team. Hey, did Matt Savoy make a lot of errors defensively? What is the one biggest concern and weakness of the Edmonton Oilers? IQ defensively. Willingness to defend. I didn't hear anybody complain about Matt Savoy in that regard. So now I got a young guy who has some good defensive IQ, but also has good offensive instincts. Sign me up. Sign me up. No interest in trading Matt Savoy. Honestly. That is, now, I'm not saying you can't trade him if somebody wants, but if you're going to trade, you better be getting a good piece in return. I'm not sold that Jake DeBrusk is going to give you more production than Matt Savoy next season. Honestly. And I like Jake DeBrusk, but I'm not sold that he will. Especially when you got one guy at $5 million and one guy making less than $1 million. Lots of factors in here, but I would pump the brakes on the trade Matt Savoy talk. Like, just stop it. I don't get it. I don't get where everybody's going. So, hey guys, how was Eberle in his first playoff series? How'd that trade work for us? Stu? Touche. And then look at Eberle's playoffs afterwards. Like, man, it's a big adjustment. It's hard. It's hard, especially for a young. And by the way, Jordan Eberle's first playoffs came in 2017. He'd been in the league for 6 years, and it's still hard. Matt Savoy's first year in the playoffs came in his first year in the NHL. I think people should be ecstatic about the potential of Matt Savoy. I don't know what his ceiling is, how good he can be. Honestly, I don't know. I do think there's a chance, because of his offensive instincts, he could be a guy down the road who replaces Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the power play. If you want to lower Nugent-Hopkins' minutes, that's a potential option. And I like Nuge a lot on the power play. I'm just saying, Zach Hyman split duties on the first unit. Could we see Matt Savoy split duties with Nugent-Hopkins? Does give you a different look on part B of the first unit, because now you have a right shot outside of the front of the net. Food for thought. We'll come back. Tyler Yaremchuk will join us on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas, just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrobacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This deal is only good till 6 o'clock tonight. We need your credit card to hold the color. Hold the color. Summer package. Winter package. And the ever-famous re-PDI fee. I gotta pay you to rebuild the car? Does this sound familiar? At Northgate, we do things differently. We offer 0% financing, a great selection of new, pre-owned vehicles. So if you'd like to do business a different way, stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century. And we're just getting started. Check us out at cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
Start your day with a blast of sports. Kevin Carius, along with Brandon Douglas, brings the fire, the fun, and the fearless takes. Weekdays, 7 to 11. Text Kevin, 883-401-1440. Mornings with Sports 1440.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Good to go. Good to go.
With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly. Guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say,
I'm good to go.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the puck drop special at Papa John's. A large 2-topping pizza and 8-piece wings for only $28.99 with promo code PUCKDROP at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.328. We roll through the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. For those of you on Twitch as well, we very much appreciate it. As it's time to get in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Reminding you, business owners in a commercial building, you've thought about getting solar? Well, don't think any longer. Get it? You can get 30% federal rebates and more. Action Electrical can walk you right through it. actionelectrical.net. It's Tyler Yaremchuk from Oilers Nation and Daily Faceoff. Joins us. Ty, how you doing?
I am doing good. I'm happy the rain has subsided. I can finally get back to my recreational sports.
Oh, yeah. Oh, buddy, big. Do you have a big slow pitch game tonight?
I do. I have a softball game today, tomorrow. So jamming in a couple of more before I'm actually going to Vegas to cover the Cup final for DFO. So I'll be in Vegas for 5 days after that.
Do you call it softball?
I say softball. Softball, slow pitch. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah, it is slow pitch though. You're right. It's not. Yeah, it is slow pitch.
I'm just curious. Is that like the new thing? Because softball is like old school game that I used to watch. They used to play it in Luma all the time. And some sick that in fact. Have you ever played fastball?
I haven't. So like I grew up playing baseball, but my dad was like a really good, like you're talking like when the windmill.
Yes, pitching, windmill.
Right? So my dad was really good growing up. And if you ever meet him, get him to tell you the story of when he was on the team that went to nationals and they were allowed to call up like players from the teams they had beaten to get there. And the big scary pitcher they called up from Calahoo, Craig Berube.
Oh, love it. It doesn't surprise me that the Chief would have been good. Yeah. But man, I remember the first time I saw it as a kid, and like the pitcher is so close, man. Like it was wild to think about. Like nowadays, I know like you look at a lot of the pitchers have a helmet on because and I remember seeing guys get absolutely lambasted, never in the head, thankfully, but I saw a few guys take it right in the chest. One guy got nutted pretty hard, and you're just like, holy God, this is a pretty tough sport.
Yeah, and you're right with how close and then getting like the step in the big windmill, like oh my God, it's one of those where like when my dad would tell me those stories, it was like you wouldn't mess around with the other team, right? Like you don't show, because if a guy wanted to bean you, they could bean you real good.
Yes, very, very easily. I surprised Donnie P and Connor here in studio by pointing out that Matt Savoy had 19 points in 24 games post-Olympic break. Third highest scorer on the Edmonton Oilers behind only McDavid and Evan Bouchard. And I think a lot of people are maybe underestimating how difficult the playoffs is for most rookies, especially a 21-year-old rookie. What is a realistic expectation for you on Matt Savoy's offensive totals next season, assuming health is there?
Yeah, so like the one thing I really like that you brought up is, maybe next year he starts splitting time with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Maybe you can get him into that. I still call it the Mark Letestu spot where he scored all those power play goals back in 2017. Like if you give Matt Savoy some time on the top power play unit, then I think honestly he could be a guy next year who pushes 25 goals. Maybe he won't get there, but mid 20s, somewhere in that range. If there's no power play time and there's a reasonable step forward, I think him getting back up to that 21 range is probably a decent expectation. I don't think it's too aggressive or anything like that, but I think you're bang on with the way people need to remember that like guys aren't just going to walk into the NHL and instantly become a 30-goal scorer and like, there you go, that's all she wrote. Like I know heading into the playoffs, people are like, oh, could Matt Savoy have a Jake Gensel-like impact? And it's like, okay, Jake Gensel is a once in a every 7 or 8 playoffs we see a young player step into the postseason and do something like that. Like I even look at Logan Stankoven, who's having a great playoffs this year for Carolina. His first postseason with Dallas, he scored 3 times in 19 games with them. It was not an uber productive step into the playoffs for him, but now in his third postseason, he's finally taken a big step forward, and he's a really, really good player. So we need to be patient with this guy. And the other thing, whenever you project with the Oilers, is I just think you have to factor in the power play time. Like when you look at a guy on another team who has, oh my God, this young player scored 24 goals. Okay, that young player scored 9 of them on the power play. Matt Savoy didn't have the luxury of playing top power play minutes all year. So yeah, he's not going to score as much as some other young players around the league. And I just think it's important to keep that in mind.
Yeah. I look at Savoy and the fact that the other thing is he's a player on a team that still struggles defensively, and he's one who has some pretty good defensive instincts.
Yeah, and he kills penalties. Like he fills other roles. And the other thing with Savoy is, he went down to Bakersfield and there was kind of the instruction of like, go down there and learn how to penalty kill. And towards the end of, what would have been last season when he only had that cup of coffee in Edmonton, you talk to people down in Bakersfield and they're like, not only was he killing penalties, like him and Noah Philp were 2 of the most relied upon penalty killers on that team. So like, to me, that shows a guy who, when you gave him a task, you said, it's your first year pro, learn how to kill penalties. By the end of the year, he had learned it and become really, really good at it. And you look at this year in Edmonton, if he would have gotten, 16 or 18 goals where 8 of them came in the first 10 games and it was like, oh my God, this guy's arrived. And then he sort of petered off. That would maybe be a little bit concerning. I love the fact that his peak of the year came at the end because it showed that he continually improved throughout the year.
Ty, today I ranked what I think the Oilers' top season, off-season priority, like top off-season priority should be. Number 1, don't make mistakes on July 1st because please don't sign an older, smaller forward. It doesn't work out. But to me, top priority still has to be goaltending. Starts there. We know Tristan Jarry's under contract, but who else? Is it Connor Ingram? Matt Tompkins, Nathaniel Day, Samuel Johnson. The 2 youngsters have 2 years left. Tompkins has 1. Connor Unger is an RFA, and Connor Ingram is a UFA. You got Bobrovsky, Skinner, Freddie Anderson, Talbot, Rittich, Tarasov, Comrie, Vanasek, Brossoit, Mrazek, Reimer, and Pickard. 5 of 13 are current or former Oilers, so lots of them I can take off the list. Where do you come out on the goaltending situation? Is it re-signing Ingram? Is it signing a free agent? Are they making a trade? How do you think they address their goaltending?
I think if it's free agent, it's Ingram. Again, Freddie Anderson, I'm sure there'll be a lot of buzz about him, considering he could be a Stanley Cup champion by the time he hits free agency, but I don't know. The age and injuries scare me there. So the free agency route, Connor Ingram's kind of really one of the only pieces that is kind of interesting to me. I don't know. Sergei Bobrovsky, I still don't buy any of this. I think he's going back to Florida. He's made so much money. I think he loves it there. So if it's free agency, it's Ingram. If it's trade, I really like the idea of Sebastian Cossa, but for me, Kossa's got to come if that means you got rid of Jarry and you're overhauling the whole tandem. Like, I don't think you can point to Sebastian Cossa and be like, start 40 games and get ready to go on a deep playoff run next year. Like, that's an unfair expectation to put on a young goalie. So if Kossa's coming in, I think it's because they've overhauled the whole position and you have a different goalie that's not Tristan Jarry to pair him with. And I'll throw a team out there to you that not a lot of people are talking about when it comes to a goalie being available. Toronto has to waive somebody. Dennis Hildeby's no longer waivers exempt, according to Puckpedia, and I don't think I'm misreading this. So that means one of Hildeby, Wall, or Stolarz needs to be traded or put on waivers next year. I think Dennis Hildeby's a really good young goalie, and I think Toronto probably wants to keep him in the mix, considering he's also very cost-effective for the next 2 years. Is there a deal to be made for, maybe a Stolarz, maybe a Joseph Wall? Haven't heard a ton of speculation about Toronto, but just as I was going through Puckpedia and doing off-season stuff, I'd be interested in one of those two. They're both also cost-effective, under $4 million.
True. I'm curious, are they healthy, though? Like, I could see one of them starting on LTIR for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then they wait until one of the other guys gets hurt during the season, and then they just swip them out because that, to me, Stolarz can never... Stolarz can't stay healthy. Just look at his career, right? And so you could get him, but that's kind of a risk. Yeah. And like even the Cossa one, like I get why Edmonton's fans are very excited about Cossa, but they got Trey Augustine coming. He'll probably start in the American League. Cossa could just be your backup behind John Gibson in Detroit, right? I don't see them having to trade Sebastian Cossa because I think in Detroit they got to find a way to get to the damn playoffs. So who knows? Maybe because of that, they're like, we don't want a rookie goalie as our backup. Maybe that's the only mindset there. But if you're Edmonton and you're going into a season that a lot of people think is a big season, do you want a rookie goalie as your backup either? That's the question. I know everybody points to Dobish. I get it. A, wasn't a rookie, but B, he was a guy who got some time. I guess, man, I know he still would have qualified. 16 games. Yeah, he still probably would have qualified technically as a rookie. But he played, 50 some games. So I just don't see that for Sebastian Cossa. I could be wrong, but it's hard to think that a rookie goalie for the Oilers is going to play 50 games next year.
Well, and again, to go back to my original point, like if you pair him with Tristan Jarry, like you want to talk about health, can you trust Tristan Jarry to play a full season? So if you think inevitably at some point there's going to be 10 to 15 games where either one, Tristan Jarry is struggling, slumping, and close to unplayable, or two, he's hurt and you actually can't play him, I don't want to point to the rookie and go, hey, it's your crease for the next 3 weeks, even though you've never had to handle a workload like this. Like, again, it's just unfair. Like, you need to put guys in positions to succeed.
Yes, 100%. Defense, to me, Connor Murphy's right near the top of their list. They need the second priority for the Oilers has to be adding defensively aware players on the blue line, and Connor Murphy's at. Like, I look at because if you don't re-sign Murphy, how are you getting a right shot defenseman? Then you're going to have to give up a lot prior to trade for him. The free agent options are Trouba, Nick Jensen, Radko Gudas, who I don't think can play anymore, Vincent Desharnais, and Erica Branson. I like Vinny Desharnais, but I don't think he's a top 4 defenseman. I think he's probably more of a really good third pair guy. Jacob Trouba, I don't think there's any chance he comes to Edmonton. His wife and her job, I don't see it. So there's really Nick Jensen if you don't get Connor Murphy. Like, I just think the Oilers are in a position where you have to re-sign Connor Murphy.
I agree with you. He's my priority out of all of the UFAs, and that probably includes Ingram, because I think you can go on the trade market and probably find a goalie if you needed to. But like, you gave up a somewhat decent amount to get Connor Murphy at the deadline. And if you were to go with one of those check down options, or even on the trade market, I know people are enamored with the idea of reuniting yourself with Michael Kesselring. Couldn't stay in Buffalo's lineup. Like, I don't know, he's the odd man out there. If you bring in Michael Kesselring and it doesn't work, then all you're going to be stuck with next year is trying to find another Connor Murphy trade. Well, let's just eliminate the what ifs. Don't put yourself in a scenario where you might have to trade for a guy like Connor Murphy next year. Just keep the Connor Murphy you have. Get it done. He's a guy who's made a surprising amount of money in his career, north of $40 million. So I don't think it's quite the same as some other free agents who are getting to UFA status for the first time and go, oh my God, I need to cash in and get every dollar possible. I think there is a world where Murphy says, yeah, I could go to a rebuilding team on a 5x5. Edmonton will give me $1 million less, but hey, I just played 8-9 years of my career, never got to play in the playoffs, or basically never got to play in the playoffs. I want to play playoff hockey. I want to keep having a chance to win. And again, he's at $44 million in career earnings. I think he is a guy where the marriage works, where that part of the lineup is so hard to replicate his minutes, and it'd be so hard to replace him. And for Murphy, not a lot of places where you're going to have a better chance to win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah. I think my understanding, both sides, they've talked, and there's definitely serious interest on both sides. So I think it gets done. And then, to me, a right shot center, Ty, is a must for this organization. Hey, I know Adam Henrique was good on his, doesn't matter. He only took 300 defensive zone faceoffs last year. Kevin Stenlin, now he took a lot in Utah, but this guy was 57.5% in the D zone, taking 657 draws. And the year before, he was 62% in the defensive zone. I know he doesn't add a ton of offense, but on a team where I'm looking for guys, I need a guy who can kill penalties, and I need a right shot center who can take a lot of faceoffs. So that's going to lessen me having to throw out Draisaitl for more. And, the D zone are a little bit harder faceoffs. And then if you lose it, now you got to grind in your own zone. Like, there's lots of reasons why they can't go into a season without a right shot center, in my opinion. To me, I think it's foolish to do it. So you can go with Stenlin. There's Noel Acciari as well. And he's been over 52, 53, 54% the last 3 years. There are options. I just don't think they can enter another season without the right shot center in their bottom six.
Otherwise, you're spending a first-round pick to find one at the deadline again. But I agree. I don't mind Stenlund. My concern with him and Achari, like especially Achari's in his mid-30s. I'm not 100% sure on Stenlund's age, but both of them, when you look at the NHL Edge, the skating stats, they're both in the bottom 50th percentile when it comes to skating speed. So I worry about getting slower in the bottom six. I shouldn't even say slower because Henrique wasn't moving all that well either. But that's the one thing I'd like is someone who can play with a little bit of pace in the bottom six. But the thing I like about Stenlund, even though he's not slow, he still finds a way to be pretty effective on the forward, or even though he's not fast, he finds a way to be effective on the forecheck. So there's not a lot of great names out there, which is why Jason Dickinson might get $5 million a year on the open market. So there's not a lot of great names. So like, beggars can't be choosers. I like Stenlund because of the face-off numbers. I like the fact he plays physical. Okay, he's not going to cost me a lot. I'll suck up and get over the fact that he's not the fleetest of foot, but he's number one for me. I'd like him over Achari. I don't mind Teddy Bluger, but he's not a right shot. He's a left shot. So if he teach him to shoot the other way over the summer and give me Teddy Bluger.
Yeah, I just think, you know what? It's been a while. Just get a right shot center. Yeah. I think it's not a do-all, end-all. That's why I have it as priority number 3. But I also just think a defensive-minded center and somebody who can kill penalties. Definitely a guy. Because the reason why I want a right shot center is because and can kill penalties, because most teams, their top guys, they like to start the face-off on their strong side on the left side, which would be the strong side for the righty. So that's why I would I'd like look at Draisaitl. Every time the Oilers are on the power play, they like to have the face-off on his strong side on the left side.
This guy might price himself out of Edmonton's range. He had a sick pass on the hurdle winner last night, but Colton Sissons skates real well. Right shot.
Yeah, and he's another guy that I'd have definitely time for him for sure. When you're looking at it, and hey, he might price it out. Like, I'll just say this about the Oilers, and Jack Roslovic's the greatest example. Some of your best signings will happen later than July 1st.
Bingo.
Right? If you look at the Oilers' July 1st signings the last few years, not a lot of big hits. Now Corey Perry, that was a re-signing, but still, right? They were all announced on July 1st. That one obviously panned out great, $1.4 million, and got you 19 goals and 10 goals in the playoffs. That was obviously a clear win. But I'm talking shopping to free agents who weren't here. Curtis Lazar is probably your best July 1st signing because he was league minimum and he did just fine as a 13th forward, right? Like you can't pay a guy any less than that to be your 13th forward, and he was okay. But Mangiapane, nope. Skinner, no. Now Arvidsson, his second year of his deal worked. It just didn't work in Edmonton. It was in Boston. Right. But, that one didn't work out for what you gave up. So this year, be smarter in your July 1st shopping, Ty.
Yeah, next year's it's too consequential to have misses. I agree.
Yeah. Who would be your number one priority in free agency for the Oilers?
My number, again, if we're taking Murphy out of it, because we kind of talked about him already, I'll be honest, I like Bobby McMahon. I'm interested in him. Outside of McMahon, if Oliver Bjorkstrand would come here as a lottery ticket kind of thing, we're on a 1-year deal where he's looking to bounce back. I got time for a little bit of Oliver Bjorkstrand. He's coming off a real down year, so hopefully you can do a buy low. And I like the speed of Ilya Mikheyev. He's a right shot who can play in your bottom six, and he's a real good penalty killer. So those are kind of my 3. Eric Holla, I think he might still get a somewhat decent ticket for his age and for what he can do, but he's on my watch list. But those are the 4 that jump out to me. I'm staying away from the Manthas of the world and the guys who are looking for this $6.5 million paydays. McMahon, to go back to that, I'm interested in him if the contract's good. I'm not giving him anywhere north of $6 million though.
Oh, I think, I get why. He's 30 years of age, turns 30 this summer. He's worked his tail off, undrafted player. It's one time only for him, man. I get it if we see McMahon sign on a not a great team, because he's like, dude, this is my one-time chance here. Yeah, I want to win a Stanley Cup, but I'd like to set up my family forever. So I understand why he would do it for certain. So we'll see. Ty, have a good trip to Vegas, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. See ya.
There you go. That's Tyler Yaremchuk from Motors Nation and Daily Faceoff will return. Got some stats of the day and more on the Gregor Show presented by Play Alberta.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
When thirst strikes and your energy begins to fade, one hero rises above the rest. Introducing the Superpower Smoothie from Booster Juice. A bright sun-charged burst of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. An out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local Booster Juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl. Only in theaters June 26th.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Everybody loves a beautiful day in Edmonton. Hey, it's Jamie, and Green Drop Lawn Care is giving you one more reason to love the nice weather. Next nice day service. People always ask, how soon can Green Drop get here? Well, when you sign up with Next Nice Day service, we'll be there by tomorrow. Assuming Mother Nature cooperates, we'll be fertilizing and treating your weeds by the very next day. We'll even include drought fighter at no additional cost. Just another reason we have been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Easy online signups only at greendrop.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
$3.50, we return Wednesday afternoon, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm chuckling because in studio, Charles Barkley. What's the name of that show again, Cons? I always forget.
Oh, the drag race?
No. The
PTI?
Show. Yeah, PTI.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not the drag race.
You referenced that.
I know. I did reference RuPaul, who is very funny, by the way. But Charles Barkley, and as a glasses guy, I can tell you, anybody out there who wears glasses, when your glasses slide down your nose, like somebody should be telling, push your glasses up. That's when you just automatically look like an old person. You're giving yourself away. It's like I don't get it. I don't see how you can, like, there's no chance my glasses can ever slide down my nose. They feel way too uncomfortable. You can't see. All of a sudden your vision's cut off. But man, so Chuck's wearing like the huge big goggles, classic, but they're slide down his nose, man. Unfortunately, he's aging himself right there. Cons, he looks like a senior citizen on the show. It's unfortunate because I love Chuck. It's funny, but some producer's got to be like, Chuck, slide your glasses up. Just give me a little push of the finger. It's very easy. But I'm just telling you, man, it's a hard thing to function with your glasses down. It's not good. I know you guys don't have glasses, so neither one of you know about it, but trust me, as a glasses wearer, I can tell you it's not great. Thankfully, I only need mine really to see far distance. I don't have to wear them around the house very often. Obviously, when I'm going to the game, I need them. Places like that, driving, but just around the house, TV, not so much anymore. I love it. So
I do wear glasses, actually.
What?
Yeah.
I have never seen you wear glasses.
Yeah, well, I don't like them.
How long have you had glasses for? How are we just learning this today on June 3rd, 2026?
Since grade 4, I had got my glasses. Yeah.
You have never worn them to the studio.
I used to wear them back in the day in a previous regime. Yeah. But during
not
COVID.
when you and I worked together.
Well, only during COVID. So you wouldn't have seen me.
There.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were hiding them. See, first of all, you've got your middle name as your first name, and now you have glasses, and are you a spy? Like, what else don't we know about Connor Halley? This is amazing.
On weekends, I go out with my glasses and I introduce myself as Thomas.
Oh, smart. That's a veteran move.
Change things up a little
Very good. I like it. Who's that? Oh, that's Thomas. Who? Thomas. Nice. It's like you have no, that's my twin. That's Connor. I'm Thomas. I have glasses. Probably get away with it. I can't believe we worked together this long and you've never mentioned to me that you have glasses. That is stunning.
It's never come up.
So you just wear contacts all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
I don't like glasses. Like, I don't want to be like Chuck, but sometimes, when they slide down a little bit, they just annoy me.
Well, they are the worst. If you get ones that fit properly, that's what I always try to tell people.
They fit, but you had a son? You have a son. Did he go for glasses when he was young?
Well, I don't really have to wear mine around the house.
Okay.
So, but there's been a few times where I've had him on and suddenly we have like an impromptu dad-son wrestling match that I got to try to find a way to slide the glasses off. Because as he's gotten older, sometimes if I'm sitting watching TV and in the basement, because of where the TV's from the couch, I like to have the glasses on. It's just a little clearer picture. And all of a sudden, sometimes he'll just come off the top rope and all of a sudden I got to try to dispatch of the glasses. But thankfully, no, he never grabbed them off my face.
Benny does all the time.
Oh, okay.
He locks it and I can see he's going for it. And then he just swipes. So, yeah, it's a battle ongoing.
All right.
So I throw the contacts in. He's got nothing on it.
Gregor, what else do we know about him? This guy's a phony from Kyle. I agree, Kyle. I'd like to know. We'll probably have to wait another 6 years to learn something else. Has he got a third nipple? Are you like Chandler Bing?
Nothing like that.
You got 6 toes?
No, nothing like that.
Nothing like that?
Trying to think. I don't think there's too much more about me.
Are you a Canadian?
Born and raised,
okay. All right. Did you really play defensive back?
No. I was receiver.
I know. Just saying that.
Put a little BB in practice, wore the offensive jersey.
Yeah.
Threw him off.
Oh, that is so awesome. But anyway, Chuck, did you not agree? You automatically look older when your glasses slide down your nose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I feel like it was progressing too. It just was slowly happening.
And I'm just like, how do you not know? Because to me, it's not only you look old, you must feel old because you're not even noticing that they've slid down. Because now all of a sudden you're talking and your head's way down lower. Why are you looking at the ground? Well, because my glasses have fallen to the end of my nose. And that's where I think I'm looking now. It's comedy stuff. So 833-401-1440. Hey, let me guess. He doesn't drink coffee either. Chad. No. That's me, Chad. I don't drink coffee. Cons drinks coffee.
Oh, a coffee a day. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's a con man for sure. Good one, Fuzzy. He's probably a Flame fan and a Rams fan. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, Rams fan. No. You know what he is? He's actually he's a Chiefs fan. He loves Patrick Mahomes. He just pretends he's a Chargers fan. Phillip Rivers. Who the hell is that? LT. Overrated. Guys, makes me think of the episode of The Office when Jim and Pam hire their Asian actor friend to play Jim and prank Dwight. Oh, that was so funny.
I mean, come on. I'm not going to show up one day being Asian or anything like that.
It'd be funny, though.
Good on you guys for not noticing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. I mean, we don't see color, man. Just hear the voice. But it was hilarious how they had the family pictures and everything in that episode. Oh man, like seriously, The Office, like The Office to me, like Seinfeld was in my prime. So it's, you read on the psychology studies that, your teens, early 20s, a lot of your memories from that time, that's the best time of your life. And things that really impacted then. Like, it's hard for me to ever think of a TV show better than Seinfeld. But I'll tell you, man, I can watch The Office and I will laugh a lot. And I'm like, God, now it was very different from Seinfeld, but also similar in a lot of cases. But like Dwight Schrute and like Michael was such an awesome character. At times, like he could fluctuate from being like, what a real insensitive jerk to being super funny, right? Like hilarious. And I love how Jim would just egg him on sometimes. But remember when Jim like dressed up like Dwight?
Oh, yeah.
And he got the glasses and he had the yellow shirt. Like, I have to think somebody out there probably did that to one of their own coworkers at some point. Dress up them, like try to look as close as you can, especially when he had the hair parted and he had the shirt done right up collar, right to the top and the glasses and spoke like him. Oh man, it's classic stuff. Kyle, I'm never listening to Fantasy Frenzy again. And then he throws in an Office gif. No, please, no.
Well, that was my reply.
That was your reply.
Yeah, we need you, Kyle.
There you go. I like it. Hey, guys, I've worn glasses for 60 years. Recent cataract surgery has improved my vision to the point I don't really need glasses. I still wear them. From Phil. Oh, there you go. So if you've worn it for 60 years, Phil, you probably just feel like it's part of it. So I understand it. Get it. It's awesome. Former Rosh Chef T-Bird my ass. Drew, did you go to Holy Trinity?
I went to JP.
Oh, Is that the big rival of Rosh Chef?
I think that would be the biggest rival, yeah.
Okay.
In some sports.
Yeah. Yeah, in football for sure.
If you ask Strutty, it'd be Mac. I know, like the Shep bullies used to beat him up.
Hey, Gregor, were you watching Barkley or Low Tide on the YouTube feed? his Low Tide's glasses do come down. Donovan, he's giving the head nod there. But yeah, hey, LT, see, look. LT falls into the category. We're exposing ourselves. Like there's certain times in your life where you expose yourself automatically. There's certain things. Like what else is something that like older people do? Glasses sliding down your nose. I think that's an obvious one. Like there's not many 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds that I see whose glasses is sliding down their nose all the time. Usually their glasses are high and tight. So what else would be like where you automatically think like that's what an old person does? Eating dinner earlier, for sure. 100%. Anybody out there who's older is going to laugh and you'll be like, yeah, I now eat dinner at like 5 o'clock, 5:30, probably earlier. Some of you go with the 4:30 specials. All right.
I like the large font size on their phones.
The classic.
When you have to change that, it's over.
Yes. You know what? Now that you say that, I did. I looked at my mom's phone. She said, hey, can you almost, I looked at it. It was just like all of a sudden it's like it punches you in the face. I'm like, I can't even read this. All right. Like it was massive, but I get it. I understand it. Why you'd have to use it. Makes sense. The other one, honestly, is when, and this is not even older, but this is for people late 40s, early 50s. They go to the restaurant and they can't see the menu anymore. Right? Like they take the menu, all right, and they got the sheet here, cons, and it's like, ooh, and you're pulling your back and you're like, go gadget arm, trying to get it out there. Oh, it is pure comedy. Because for me, I mean, I can see closer. So literally, like when we go out to places now, I'll be like, do you want me to read the menu for you? Like, I love it. It's the greatest because all the people in there, and my eyes, oddly enough, my eye doctor, Chopper, has said my eyes have actually gotten stronger, shorter. Far away, still not great ever since the idiot threw the firecracker in the fire back in high school that burnt my eye, and that's what caused the damage. But still, short-sighted, I can see short, and I can see clearer now. Like I can see the TV. 3 years ago, I probably couldn't see the TV as crystal clear, and the TV is what? I don't know, 10 feet away from me?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So it's awesome. You know, you go out, you don't have to, but I see it, and I see the people now, they take their magnifying option on their phone, and they look at the menu through the phone. And you do it, right? Or they try to get progressives. It's another tough one. Progressives, don't ever want it. Hey, Greg, suspenders on pants, old guy for sure. Fergus from Red Deer. Very good one. That is so true. I don't know how they wear them. I think it's probably from their era, right? You're 80, right? Because a lot of people used to wear suspenders younger. But I don't know how they do it, man. I find it the most uncomfortable thing ever. I remember when you used to have suspenders on your hockey pants, and I couldn't wear those. I thought it was too uncomfortable. So
I will say, just on the topic, we were talking about watch parties. Some of the places are really loud. Yeah. And on the Rocks, it was such a nice volume. I commented to people, they're like, isn't the volume nice? It's not deafening. We have a conversation. That's another thing that I feel like in my older age. I'm like, it's nice that it's not so loud.
Your hearing gets old. It gets a little bit weaker. Yeah.
I just can't handle the heat.
Yeah.
Like, just turn it down, guys.
Yeah. No, that is fair. I totally get it. I do. Hey, guys, tuck anything into jeans, old person. Well, how about when you've got your jeans and it's like they're wearing their jeans at their belly button. Like they are hiked right up, man. That's just a tough look. It's a tough look.
The latest from Crotch is a good one.
I like this one. And we got a picture. Yeah. Hey, guys, I would say having a digital watch shows your age. Struds was speaking at a coaching clinic this weekend. And guess what he was wearing? From Crotch. Oh, my God. Struddy's coming up, too. I can't wait to talk to him about that. That is amazing. Digital watch. Well, most people now, you got like an iWatch, right? But it depends. So some of the older watches are pretty damn nice, right? If you're a watch guy, I know I see a lot of bling watches on younger people though. So I don't know if I can go with but if it's a digital watch, maybe I think what he's talking about, it's the type of watch, right?
Well, he's been a long supporter of Timex, I believe.
Oh, is it Timex?
Is that his? Was Timex with the neon or whatever?
I thought it was the one with I was going to say Comex, but that's not. What's the watch with the C? Casio?
Oh, maybe it was Casio.
Yeah, I think it's Casio. I think it's a Casio watch. We'll ask him when
didn't he break it a couple of years ago? It was a big issue.
Oh God, it was tears. Casio watch and lip balm. Those two. Those are the two things for Struddy that can't get enough. Can't get enough. Well, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get back on the sports trail. We got Struds. We got some stats of the day and more on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the comment and a sports 1440 up that I almost forgot. Brought to you by Fountain Tire. Stop in at Fountain Tire. Not only do they have tires, they can do vehicle repair with their digital vehicle report. They will not only tell you what your vehicle is wrong with it, they'll show you on the report, fountaintire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
John Tour was named the Jack Adams Award winner for the first time in his career earlier today. Third time he was a finalist. He led the Lightning to a 50-26 and 6 mark, good for second spot in the Atlantic. It's game one of the NBA Finals with the Spurs host Knicks. Tip-off set for 6:30 in the majors. The Jays back in action, taking on the Braves once again. First pitch, about an hour and 10 minutes away. We'll join that game in progress on our AM feed immediately following the Jason Gregor Show. One game underway right now. Mariners trailing the Mets 7-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Later on tonight, you got the Padres and the Phillies. The Red Sox host the Orioles, Guardians, and Yankees. Brewers, Giants, Rangers get the Cards. Cubbies host the Athletics, and the Dodgers taking on the Diamondbacks. Earlier today, Twins blanked by the White Sox 8-0. Tigers with the Rays 7-2, and the Marlins dropped the Nationals 4-1. Riverhawks on the road once again, taking on Victoria. That gets going at 7:35. Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime run at Roland Garros has come to an end after he suffered a 4-set loss to Italy's Flavio Caboli in the quarterfinals. And in the WNBA, Toronto taking on the New York Liberty, tip-off 5:30. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions, get to the stats of the day, and be joined by Jason Strudwick. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Novo Blinds is your home ice advantage for window coverings. Edmonton's own custom manufacturer with over 300 5-star reviews from homeowners, builders, and commercial contractors. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled. And
Jason Gregor,
having a
Connor Halley,
trailer
Sports
out of commission
1444.
is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental,
we
and
return.
finance, when you're in it for the long haul. Edmonton Trailer.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This deal's only good till 6 o'clock tonight. We need your credit card to hold the color. Hold the color. Summer package. Winter package. And the ever-famous re-PDI fee. I gotta pay to rebuild the car? Does this sound familiar? At Northgate, we do things differently. We offer 0% financing, a great selection of new, pre-owned vehicles. So if you'd like to do business a different way, stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Air conditioning from Legacy Heating and Cooling is like a country love song because you always know exactly what you're getting. Cause girl, you're hotter than Tennessee, cooler than Legacy's AC, blowing that southern breeze over me. Wheat fields, cold beer, pickup trucks, John Deere. You see, Legacy is that predictable because Legacy always has AC in stock and will install it faster than a truck burning down a back road. Plus, no interest and no payments for 1 year. That's how you lasso your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Since the 1930s, the Dorchester name has been synonymous with chuck wagon racing in Alberta. And now, it's just as well known for golf. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is open for the season. A challenging 18-hole course nestled in the rolling coulees of central Alberta. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through Wednesday afternoon. How are you? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. NBA joins the NHL in their championship final tonight. The Spurs and the Knicks, a rematch of 1999. The Knicks trying to end their championship drought that happened the last time they won, 1973. So, trying to end, well, I guess technically it'd be a 52-year drought because this would be year 53. So, get it in. The Rangers went, 50? Was it 40 years from when they won their last cup to when they won it in 1994? think it was close to that. So the Knicks, New York City would party it up, that's for sure. Meanwhile, the Spurs, they've won a lot. Heck, they've won 5 times since 1999. So we'll see what happens. Wemby and the Spurs are a favorite, but not a massive favorite. Decent favorite. And they'll open up at home tonight. You can check it out. PlayAlberta.ca. We got a little Knicks and Spurs action. We also got some Jays and Guerrero, and then a little parlay action involving the D-backs and a little upset with the Astros. So check it out at PlayAlberta.ca. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, what about wearing a hat in the back? It pulls your hair up through the hole at the back from Anna. Well, that's kind of like a ladies thing. Lots of ladies wear it. You know, I don't have, obviously I don't have flowing locks, but I was told that a lot of times that's just out of comfort. You're wearing a hat. Otherwise, it's super uncomfortable. Let's see.
I mean, I'm not innocent with that one. It just pulls it up through it. I don't mean for it to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm guilty of that. Just
You have hair coming out the back of your hat?
yeah, like it happens. I don't know if I can turn around.
So it just looks like a little tail?
Yeah, it could be. Like I could style it if I wanted to, but
Why don't you just put in like a little mini pony?
maybe I should.
Have you ever done like one of those man buns at the top of your head?
No.
No.
I have never really done much with my hair.
Mm.
It's some guys can pull it off. Hey, you know, maybe if it ever got that long, I would go for it. But no, that's not a look I'm going for. I think my buddies would not let that happen.
Hey, boys, what about the cell phone holder that clips to your jeans? You know what's funny about this? My brother-in-law, Rob, he has this, but honestly, like, I don't remember him not having it. He loves it. It's like he's a Western guy. Folks, hello. And then he's got it and clicks it down. Oh, my God. It's so funny. But he loves the phone clip in his jeans. Oh, yeah. Robbie. Oh, that is a class. He's the only guy I know that has one. Like, oh, it's so funny that, like, remember Bookman in Seinfeld? Remember when he was talking to Seinfeld and then he would kind of get serious, and he would pull his hand up really quick? Well, that's Robbie. Like when his phone rings and all of a sudden he's got the clip in, it's just like, honestly, it's like quick draw McGraw. See how fast you can get the hand up to and bring your phone up. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh, that's a good one. Hey, guys, old people put the speaker on their mobile phones in public places. From Lauren. Ooh, well, any human being who walks around in public talking on speakerphone, that should be a fine. And it should be citizen's arrest. You're allowed to arrest him. I'm presenting you with the citizen's arrest fine because it is the worst. I totally agree with you. I don't know where we've come. Like, how can anybody think that is good public action? Right? You can't do it. Like, you can't be on public walking around and then you take your phone on speaker and you're like, huh? And I'm like, I don't want to hear your conversation. And I really don't. And most people, for whatever reason, but when their phone, now I'm holding it and it's away from me, Connor, everybody talks louder, even though you don't need to be, right? You're just yelling into your phone. Why are you yelling? Why do we have to hear your conversation? Lauren, that's a good one. I can't stand it.
I wouldn't want to be on speakerphone in public either. Like if I was talking to Donovan and he had me on speakerphone in public, I'm also a victim. So I'm with you, Lauren. That's a bad one.
That's a fail. Hey guys, I was at the DMV and there was a lady talking on video on her phone. The DMV. Is it still super slow there? Like, I can't remember the last time I went in to a registration place for a vehicle. Now
I have to go this month, actually. I'll report back. I haven't had too many bad experiences, but I have opportune time.
Like the last time I think I went in there well, nowadays, because they have like, you know, to buy insurance and different things. Like it's kind of like one stop and all them together. There's no one in there. But because I always laugh when they have the in Zootopia or the sloth at the DMV. Oh, that was a classic. Oh, I love it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We're going to get to some stats of the day momentarily here as the NHL playoffs day off today. What I like, though, is no extra day between travel for Carolina. and Vegas. They're playing Tuesday, they're playing Thursday, then they're playing Saturday night, then they have the day off. So let's get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction, founded in 2009. They have grown to become the largest contractor in their space and land development, power, and gas installation contractor. That is All Star Construction. Then last night, if you were watching the game, you saw something that had never happened before. A goal in the first period, a goal in the second period, both in the first minute of the period. Something that never happened. Defenseman in the game last night, Connor Halley. 11 points by D-men. Like, think about Carolina had 4 goals. Only 2 forwards had points. The goal scorers, Ehlers and Stahl. No other forward had a point in a 4-goal game for the Carolina Hurricanes last night. That is, that's pretty wild to me. So the Golden Knights are the first road team to open the final with multi-goal comeback win. How about that? Because they were down 2-0. So that's kind of wild. I love the fact that you had McNabb with 3 points. How about Shea Theodore? Another good night last night. He is now up to 1.09 points per game in the Stanley Cup final, playing at least 10 games. Not bad. He surpassed Matthias Ekholm as well as Evan Bouchard, who each have 11 points in the playoffs. Ekholm's played 19 games. Bouchard has played 13. So it was very much an offensive game last night. I would like to think that not that I would like to see, but I'd like to think that we'll probably see both teams tighten it up a little bit defensively then. So did you know? So Vegas stole the show on the road in opening game of the series, but they weren't the first team, because twice now in the last 29 years, you've had a road team overcome a 2-goal deficit in a Stanley Cup final game. Last night was the first time ever in game 1. But the other team to do it, Connor Halley? Sorry, Oilers fans. The Oilers. Game 4 last year at Florida. Remember that one? They were down 2-0, came back to win. And you're thinking, all right, series is tied at 2, coming back home, looking good. No. Unfortunately, not the case for them. Also tonight in the NBA, we mentioned the Knicks and the Spurs, a rematch of the 1999 NBA championship. The New York Knicks trying to end a 53-year drought since they won the championship. Meanwhile, the Spurs trying to continue on, be maybe the most dominant franchise of the decade. Of course, they did win in 99. And then they won again in 3 and 5 and 7. They have been really dominant for a long time. 3, 5, 7, and 14. I forgot 14, right? So this could be they're looking for their 5th title in the 2000s. 5th title in 23 years. Damn impressive. Right? Like, it's hard to do, man, in any sport. You don't see teams win that often. Obviously, the Patriots, a little bit exception. The Oilers way back when they won 5 in a span of 7 years. That's pretty darn good, but hard to do. You look at Mr. Why am I'm forgetting his name right now. But
on the Spurs or
yeah.
Wemby?
Yes, Wemby. I was trying to say Wemby, but I'm like, no, Wembayano. I want to say his last name at least once in the show. And people are already talking about, if he wins this early in his career, could he catch Jordan? And I'm like, let's pump the brakes, man. Like, guys haven't even won 1, and people are talking about him winning 6. See that online? I'm like, whoa. You know how hard it is to win 3? Never mind 6. Like, come on. Like, look at how good LeBron James was. He couldn't win 6. Freaking hard to do, man. The guy hasn't won 1. How about, I never like the let's jump ahead to the what if predictions. It was like putting Connor Bedard in the Connor versus Connor categories. Completely unfair to Bedard. Don't ever do it. Wembanyama, I don't care if he wins 3 in a row, which would be great. Very hard to do. Heck, 3 in a row. Try to win 2 in a row now in the NBA. Right? They got 8 straight years, different winners in the NBA, which I think is pretty good. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. That's our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction. 422, when we come back, Mr. Casio, Jason Gregor. The Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
When thirst strikes and your energy begins to fade, one hero rises above the rest. Introducing the Superpower Smoothie from Booster Juice. A bright sun-charged burst of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. An out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local Booster Juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl. Only in theaters June 26th.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call-solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shacopedic memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Looking for a solid 4x4 that checks all the boxes? The 2026 Jeep Compass is in stock now at St. Albert Dodge, and this is a great value, starting from just $36,900. It's a Jeep, so you've got 4x4 capability, plus features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, active lane management, a park view rear backup camera, and more. Over 30 in stock right now in just about every color you'd want. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Everything is going to be okay. If your debt has you feeling like you're in a free fall, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal allows you to eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we'll tackle your debt.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place and Ice District.
The puck is passed up through the neutral zone, and here's a breakaway. He's coming in hot. He shoots it. Oh no, a broken stick.
When it comes to performance, quality parts matter. Napa Auto Parts has all the reliable parts, tools, and more to keep your vehicle running like a playoff contender. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how. For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub, Edmonton's favorite soccer home. The Druid Irish Pub is back in the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with $6.50 Heineken only at the Druid Irish Pub.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
427. As we return, quick little text. Hey, Jason, want to let you know that my mom has cooked steaks in our air fryer twice. It was delicious. Thanks for the recommendation from Ashley M. Nice. Ash, that's good. Whoa. I'll tell you, man, the air fryer steaks, game changer, especially in the winter when you don't want to barbecue outside. It is a game changer. And I find, you get the timer on and it's just it's done to perfection. It's good. It's really good. So check it out. Let's get now to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center, where they actually put in a rule. It's an interesting rule that they put in place this year. No jeans allowed for coaches at the Silent Ice Center. Not allowed. They banned it. Wonder why. SilentIceCenter.com.
The Jason Gregor Show presents Struds On.
I don't believe in tea bags. I use loose leaf tea. It is so much better than the tea bags. I'll eat tea bags. I'll
Struds On.
I'm not a huge DJ guy. I guess if you had me a couple glow sticks and a tight white t-shirt that I can get wet, maybe I'd be into it.
Struds On.
There's a lone steakhouse I used to go to down in Kentucky, and they had bowls of peanuts. I wasn't sucking on those ones. You need to have clean nut. I'm talking about the kind you get in a bag at an Elks game. You know what I mean?
It's time for Struds On.
Struddy, were you wearing is it a Casio or a Timex? We're having a discussion.
Buddy, it's a Timex Ironman. It's a classy timepiece and never lets me down, buddy.
Oh, yeah. No, we were just asking earlier about things that, give people away when they're getting older, like their glasses slide down their nose and they don't pick them up and then it looks terrible. And then we just had Crotchet text and he goes, guys who wear digital watches. And then he actually had a picture of you at a coaching clinic this past weekend.
Oh, yeah. I wear it all the time.
Oh,
I don't. It never comes off, buddy.
Oh.
Only when the battery dies.
Oh, yeah. Or the shower, right? Or do you wear it in the shower?
Oh, no, buddy, this thing's good to over 20 meters, so I can handle a shower. Doesn't matter how much pressure's on that hose. I can still wear it in there, big guy. It never comes off. It never comes off.
Do you honestly wear it in the shower?
I never take it off. When I tell you never take it off, I mean I literally never take it off.
Oh my God!
Like by the end of summer, I take it off. It looks, if I would to, it would look like I have a watch on. My skin's so white underneath, right, from the tan.
Oh my goodness!
No, I never ever take it off. I sleep with it. I do everything with it on.
Everything.
Sprint.
Oh my God! Your wife's like, "Hey, take it off, okay? We're trying to have some special time right now. Come on."
People love it. People love it.
I'll say this, for entertainment value, hard to get much more entertaining than game one last night between the Canes and the Golden Knights.
Oh, well, the start was unreal. The forecheck and the pressure that Carolina was putting on Vegas, I'm like, wow. In that first period, they were all over them, reloading about the puck, D-man pinching down all over the place. Vegas had no answer. Then in the second period, they made some changes, and all of a sudden they were the ones that were forechecking like crazy. Like, not every player on those teams are really fast, but they skate hard. They're always moving their feet to get up in the play, to be disruptive, and it's tough. Like, you can see the D-men are having a tough night out there. There's constant pressure on you.
Well, there was, and there was a lot of giveaways and breakdowns on both sides. Like, the amount of breakaways and odd man rushes, like, I like it. To me, it's entertaining. I know that, coaches and players are going to be like, okay, we don't want to play a give and take. But you look at Carolina, and Rod Brindamore even admitted it, Struds, just like, we just made too many mistakes. Like, you look at the game winner, like Gosselaar just lost his man.
Yeah. And that's, when you play man on man, that's how it happens, right? Everyone's being counted on to do their job, because if they don't, you're exposed, right? And you got exposed there a couple times. So they're both good teams that go back. They'll tighten up. They'll recognize what the other teams are trying to do. Not that it was a big surprise, but it's one thing to be told what they do. It's another to see it in real time. So I think we'll see, 9 goals. I don't know that anyone expected 9 goals in the first game, how defensive it was going to be, but here we are. And now they're going to think about it, revisit it, and I think it'll be a much tighter game 2.
Yeah. If you look at Carolina, what do you feel is the number one thing they need to do defensively to improve?
Well, they've been so good at just doing their own jobs in their own end. Well, last night they did it. And there was the goal, was it William Karlsson's, where they found 3 players behind the goal line and Karlsson by himself in front. Fairly risky hockey, and that's not who they are. So you're almost over-checking at times, and you have to allow everyone to do their own jobs, especially in a man-on-man situation. But those are, then you talk about the game winner, those situations you have to sort out and you have to be better at. And I think they'll tighten up defensively. And then offensively, like their first period, they were all over them. I thought the third period, it was kind of even on the forecheck, but Vegas has got a good forecheck too. They're heavy. They like to cycle. So they've got to recognize that and try to get the puck out of their zone, which they did in the first. So, I think it was a good opening game. Obviously, Vegas is thrilled. They got the win. But for Carolina now, they've got to figure it out, and they will. They'll be tighter, and I think we'll see a more kind of classic Canes game in game 2.
The Edmonton Oilers, Struddy, we're now basically, officially exactly 4 weeks today to free agency. July 1st has not been great for the Edmonton Oilers when they've hunted players outside of their organization for the last two off seasons. None of those signings panned out. Their best signing happened in early October with Jack Roslovic, but the Mangiapane, the Skinner, the Arvidsson, they didn't work out. And I look at the Oilers, like, what do all those forwards have? They're wingers and they're smaller, and none of them are overly quick. So I look at Edmonton. To me, priority number 1, Struddy, has to be goaltending. What are they going to do? Number 2, you got to get Connor Murphy or some other defenseman. And then number 3, I think they need a right shot center that they can play on the penalty kill to counter every team who most of them like to line up on that left side in the offensive zone off the faceoff. So you need a natural righty.
Yeah, I like all that. I think the goaltenders, I think there are going to be a lot of options, man. You look at teams with, 3 goalies or guys coming out into the market. So I think there is going to be opportunities to find the right guy. And that's going to come down to the new coach. I don't know what's going to happen to all the other, the goalie coach and all that, but I think that'll come down to them figuring that out. And I think they will. And then you never know with Jarry. Can he, goalies year to year, you never know what you're going to get. So let's hope that for his sake, he can get back to the level that he wants to be and be consistent. For sure, I would like to think that we could see something on the back end done with Connor Murphy here before free agency.
Yeah,
I don't have any inside information, but I'd sure like to see that. And then you go up front, and your idea with the right shot centerman makes a lot of sense. Who's that option? And I'd like to see some more size. I want to see size. So Kapanen is big and he's fast, inconsistent, and had health issues last year. But what does that look like for him? Does he want to come back? Because if not, you got to replace another big fast guy on the wing. So I'm the same priority as you. I guess also, what do you do as Nuge? Is Nuge going to be a center, or is he going to be a wing? Because if he's a center, then that in some ways fixes that problem. If not, you got to go up and you got to find a center. So that's kind of the new coach too. So I think the clock is ticking on this coaching situation, because he'll kind of talk about where he sees and wants people in this lineup.
Yeah, the coach will have some factor in it, but I think I don't need a coach to tell me, hey, I want a right shot center, right? Or, hey, we need another good second pair right shot defenseman. Because if you don't get Connor Murphy, Struds, the only other second pair right shot demon on the free agent market, I think, is probably, Nick Jensen or Jacob Trouba. And I don't think there's any chance Trouba comes here because of his wife's work and where she works in the U.S. I just don't see it happen. So it's Nick Jensen, and I'm not sold. Actually, I don't think Nick Jensen's an upgrade on Connor Murphy. So you're downgrading. Like, to me, it should, like, I know that there's lots of interest on the Oilers, and my understanding is, when I talked to Connor Murphy when he left, he was very interested in wanting to come back to Edmonton. And, like Jason Dickinson gave me the answer, well, you know what, we'll see how it goes. Let my agent do that stuff. Connor Murphy's like, no, man, like, I loved it here. Like, I really liked it here. And, he's like, hey, if I get a fair contract, I'm in. So, what is a fair contract for him? $4 million. I don't know what the number is, but I could see it being something along those lines. Jack Roslovic was unreal value when you consider he had 15 goals, 5-on-5. He didn't play that many minutes with McDavid or Draisaitl, ended up with 21 goals. He had 22 the year before. How much do you think he gets on the free agent market?
Well, he didn't get it last year. He had a very similar season, right? Very similar season. You look at production, opportunity, and then playoff production, right? Like, it matters. So, could he get a bump on a 1 or 2 year deal? I'm sure he could. But, on a long-term deal, I'd be hesitant on this player to go out and do it. There's a lot of things you like about Jack Roslovic, but that's 2 years in the playoffs now we've seen where it hasn't been the most robust playoffs from him. And, so, I think if I'm the GM here, I said, okay, Jack, this is what we have for you. This is our offer. It's a 1 year deal. We're going to see what else is out there, but this is kind of where we're at, and you can go take a look. I don't know. What do you see with him?
Well, I like Roslovic. I thought he played because Edmonton needs some guys who can score 5-on-5 away from McDavid and Draisaitl, and that's what he did. So I think there's value in that. Obviously, the playoffs, I don't like to overrate it, but it's been multiple times for him, so that's a concern. It's not a one-off, right? Like, there's been multiple different years with different teams, and it hasn't worked yet, so that's a concern. But even at $3 million, Struds, I'd have no problem paying, because I thought you really got great value at 1.5. And even if you paid him 3 and he scores you 20 goals, that's still a good value guy. So I would consider it. But I looked at the other players who are free agents, and some of the names, like the one guy who's now, he probably cost you more, but he brings you talked about size, but he brings the jerk factor, Mason Marchment. It's 22, and 19 goals the last 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, he's got edge. He's a big body. He's got some decent speed, and I like him. But I think everyone likes him. That's the problem. What does that look like for them? And then what's the order? If you don't have a third line center, is that the priority there? Do you put all your eggs in to get that nailed down? And what does that leave you on the sides, right, on the wings? So I think that's a bit of a challenge too. But yeah, I mean, Mason Marchment. Another guy I've looked at is Mikheyev. And I think people have to understand what he is. He's a bigger, fast-skating guy. I don't think he's a natural goal scorer. I think he gets a lot of chances because he's so fast. But I like the speed he brings and a penalty killer. Different type of player from Marchment. But that's another guy that would be on my check-in list as we head towards the free agency.
Yeah. Oh, he's one I'd look at. And here's another one that I uncovered today that intrigues me a lot, because he's been the embodiment of consistency, Struds. He's big at 6'3", 230, and he doesn't get injured very often. He's missed in his last 11 years, he had 1 injury. In the other 10 years, he missed a total of 28 games. Like, that guy is consistent. Anders Lee. Now, he's older, but he scored 19 goals last year. That guy is basically chalk him in for 20. Big body. Like, when I look at him and think, geez, third line, like when I look at Vegas's third line and fourth line, just heavier, bigger bodies, I have a lot of time for Anders Lee. What about you?
Yeah, I think that slotted correctly, I think he's a guy. He can score. He is heavy. He's been down there a long time. Is he going to want to leave? Maybe, but I think you have to sell him on the vision you just talked about, man. You're going to be part of our third line. You're going to be an important role. And he can still score, right? He can still score. And I like the size. I still value size. You're looking at Vegas, the way they play. They've got some big guys. And the Oilers, Matt Savoy's can be in this lineup, lightning fast. but not the heaviest of bodies. At some point, I think the Oilers need Ike Howard to transition from, AHL to NHL. I mean, if he can do that and he can score and be, disruptive, that's a huge thing. But you still need some size to complement those guys, the Podkolzins and those types of players. So, he's a guy. Another guy I check in. Like, there's a lot of people to check in on and see where they're at. How, what are they thinking? Because are you satisfied with Szymanski? Is it fourth line center? Is it Koldock, Szymanski, Trent Frederick? Does the new coach want to give Frederick, try to, right away say you're part of a line on a third line with X, Y, and Frederick? Like, those are all things you have to figure out, because they need an uptick from Frederick. They need an uptick from Wallman. They need an uptick from Jari. If they can get those three guys upticking, that's a significant improvement in your team, and you haven't spent any assets or any more money to get them.
Yeah, that's totally fair. You look at Connor Ingram, Tristan Jarry. Do you come back with those two? Do you look elsewhere? What do? You think in net?
Well, I think there's going to be lots of goalies out there. Now the challenge for the Oilers is that there will be some free agent ones, but for trades, I've heard guys like Devin Levi kicking around. Those type of Gustafson, although he's got the injury situation, how much do the Oilers have to send out to get that? And then the cap hits on some of these guys is more significant. So is there a Kevin Lankinen out there, that a guy that, a couple of years ago was looking for a home and they found a spot for him? Or do you go back with Connor Ingram? But is he going to try to get more, maybe not more money, but maybe some term? And do you want to be built in with those guys? What's the upside of these two guys? So for now, I'm not rushing into anything. I want to see what else is out there and what develops in this goalie market. Because even a guy like Aiden Hill, I'm not saying that they're going to trade him, but he will be another option to go out there for a team. And then that team might have a goalie that frees up another one, right? So the carousel, I think, is going to be pretty big for goaltenders in the NHL this summer. And I'm willing to take a look and see what else shakes loose.
Jason Gregor joins us here, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Lastly, Struddy, the green and gold. They're beginning this week. I wrote it today at Elks Nation. Honestly, they started in 2021. It's not been good. 25-61. They started 0-3, 0-2, 0-3, 0-9, 0-7, 0-3. They never won their first game of the season. They never really had any momentum. They were a 500 team once at 2-2. They've never had a winning record in the history of the Elks portion. I would argue Saturday's game in Ottawa is the biggest game in franchise history, with all the new moves, second-year coach, lots of second-year coordinators, lots of returning players against a team that also missed the playoffs last year, and an opportunity to go 1-0 and get some hype leading into your home opener. Where do you come out on the Elks and the biggest game in Elks franchise history?
Yes, I think that's all accurate. And the thing that you didn't touch on is that for the guys in that dressing room to believe they're going in the right direction. Like, they don't want, here we go again. We're not sure. You get off to a good start, and all of a sudden you're like, holy geez, your practices are more energetic. They're more intense. You bring more energy to the field every day, every practice, and you're like, hey, what the coaches are doing, they're right. We know we're on the right course. Let's keep going. And now, to steal your word, there's momentum heading into the second game. If you lose the first game, it's not disastrous, but you're like, okay, well, are we that team? Are we not team? They've got to take that step where they mentally believe they're no longer the doormat. They are now stepping ahead and making things happen. So it doesn't matter what sport you play, that's the facts. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. And what an opportunity to start out on the road, just with your guys and your group, and you get that win, and then you move on and come home with full pedal or full gas all the way into your home opener.
Friday, we'll see. Maybe the Elk Man will show up this year. We'll find out. We will see.
Get the big rack out. Everyone loves it.
Oh yeah, especially with the Timex on it. So it's a natural fit. So awesome.
I got to get a neck brace to hold that thing up, man. It's heavy to wear. Heavy is the crown.
Oh geez, yeah. Your crown and clown, very close difference, Ruddy. Have yourself an awesome Tuesday and or Wednesday, excuse me. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah. See you guys.
There you go. That's Jason Strudwick from the Guy Your Back podcast. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We got 5 questions to get to, and more on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Big news today. Big news. Big news.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton.
Donnie P.
That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
And my goodness gracious, Donnie P.
Located in the heart of the Silent
You
Center,
earned
and
every
just
single
minutes
bit
from
of it.
South Edmonton
2-minute
Commons.
warning.
Summit is
Jason
your
Gregor,
destination for
Conrad
exceptional
Halley,
house-made pizza,
and
delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Smart, connected, community driven. Jason Gregor sets the standard for sports talk in Edmonton. Join the conversation on Sports 1440. Text Gregor 833-401-1440. Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business, and for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Alberta, we're wild and tough and beautiful. We agree that good enough isn't good enough. And though everything that matters starts with a home and a family. At Lux, our family has been handcrafting windows and doors for this incredible place for over half a century. There's no place we'd rather be. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
450. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. Congratulations. It's just in. John Cooper has won the Jack Adams Award as Coach of the Year in the National Hockey League. He had 36 first-place votes. Lindy Ruff had 26. Dan Muse with 18. Jared Bednar, 4. Marty St. Louis, 4. Travis Green, 4. Rick Tocchet, 3. Marco Sturm, 1. And Rod Brindamore got 3 as well. So most points, Cooper, 226. Lindy Ruff, 223. And Dan Muse, 199. Those are the 3 favorites by quite a bit. Jared Bednar coming in a distant 4th. So there you have it for John Cooper. And Lindy Ruff. Pretty close voting. Can't get much closer than that, really. The only way you get closer is 2 points difference. So I'd like to see if that was the closest vote, voting-wise, in the Coach of the Year award. We'll see. It's voted on by the NHL Broadcasters Association. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440, as it's time for 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. And coming up this weekend, you can get up to 25% off patio furniture, 40% off select mattresses, and Door Crasher deal starts on Friday. You can get Frigidaire top freezer fridge for only $349 at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, very interesting game last night. What was the biggest takeaway from game 1 of the Stanley Cup final?
Well, I think just Vegas' ability to come back repeatedly in that game, and that Carolina was the team that kind of blinked first, making more mistakes. You can't use rest as or layoff as an excuse this time because they didn't have a long layoff. So that, to me, I was surprised. I thought there would be a few more chances, Cons, in game 1 that we saw, and usually the series will tighten up a little bit as it goes. But last night, man, like there was more breakaways than I expected. I loved it. Like it was highly entertaining.
I'm with you. And like the offensive output, I thought we might see a little bit more cautiousness out there, like 3-1, 3-2 type of game. But you saw the big opportunities, and even despite the score, and you look at the numbers, the goaltender save percentages weren't the best. They still made some big saves in key moments. So yeah, really good game. The excitement level was higher than I thought it would be for the first game. Looking forward to game number 2. Now, John Cooper, as you mentioned, won the Jack Adams today. First time in his career, 3rd time a finalist. Who are your top 3 coaches today in the NHL?
Cooper, Rod Brindamore, and would be my 3rd top coach in the NHL. I really like Jared Bednar.
Those are my 3. I'm a huge fan of Bednar. I like listening to him post game. There's a few guys around the league that I've really grown to like listening to, that just the honesty after games and how they speak. Since you have those 3, if I were to throw another one, I really like Martin St. Louis. The story that he's had, no pro coaching, gets into it, and what he's helped build in that Canadiens team. I think he deserves a lot of credit. And I think, with the experience that he has, he's a guy who I think can keep it going here. Question number 3 for you. NBA Finals gets going tonight. Spurs and Knicks from San Antonio. Who's your pick? How many games?
I'm going to pick an upset. I'm going to go against the grain here. I just I feel like the Knicks are going to shock everybody. Everybody, thought, whoever wins the West is going to win. And I totally understand why you think that way. I get it. But I'm going to go with an upset.
Knicks in how many?
6.
I'm going to go Spurs in 5. I think battle tested for sure against the Thunder. I think they'll be ready to go. Wemby is just such... I always call him a freak, and I mean it in the best, most complimentary way. He's so good and, can impact from all over the place. So I'll take Spurs in 5, but I would love to see Karl Anthony Towns get one. Question number 4 for you. We saw the TSN top 50 list for the CFL. Justin Rankin at 15. Does that seem low to you?
Yes. How's he at 15? Like, he's the best guy to. I think they're trying to underrate the importance of the position. That's the only thing I could think of. So yeah, I have a hard time seeing him at 15th in the CFL. That is that's pretty low for me, to be honest.
Yeah, he's actually the 3rd ranked running back. So hey, I think that a lot of eyes.
Do they have Oliveri ahead of him?
Yes, and Mills in Calgary.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think there's only 4 Elks in the top 50. So hey,
Well, that doesn't surprise
little
me.
motivation here. I think 3 Red Blacks we counted earlier on today on Fantasy Frenzy. But for me, it's 100% surprising, not only because of what Rankin can do as a runner, but he's a good receiver as well. I think that with the wins, the recognition will come, and by the end of the year, he'll be looked at as a top 10 player easily if everything stays healthy and all that sort of thing. But yeah, 15th overall to me, that's just a little disrespectful. Question number 5 for you today is National Repeat Day. In honor of that, what is a TV show, a movie, and if you want an album that you can watch or listen to on repeat?
Go ahead.
Movie for me that I could watch on repeat. It has to be kind of a dumb comedy. So The Hangover is one, and then I would say Superbad. For movies or for TV shows, we talked about The Office. That's a clear-cut one, but Entourage would be another one that I could just probably throw on any episode, watch the series all over again. I've done it a few times. Album, there's quite a few. I like, it is kind of a cop-out, but when you like the best of, and then, make it Jimi Hendrix or, Beatles, one of those, I could probably listen to those on loop for a road trip. So those would be mine.
Yeah. If I'm looking at like a movie, it depends what mood I'm in, but I can watch Forrest Gump anytime. Pick up the movie at any point. I love it. Braveheart. But if I just need a laugh, I'm watching Superbad. The opening 45 minutes of Superbad will put me in a good mood automatically. I like the whole movie, but the first 45 is just unbelievable. And I guess if I had to pick a music album, I'd probably have to go with one of my old Technotronic ones with Black Box and all them, some upbeat kind of rap dance music. I have a cassette, which of course I don't play anymore. But if I transfer to digital cons, that's what it would be. But I don't really have an album right now that I would listen to all the time. I'd have to go back in time to my youth. Now I just, I make, I'll have I made a road trip one of 2024 and it's titled Road Trip 2024. So that's the one I listen to right now. It's got a lot of great bangers on.
I will say, just with Superbad, that was on TV a couple nights ago.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to. Sat down and watched the whole thing. Got into it when they were at the party and they steal the booze and the dancing on the leg, all that. Michael Cera singing. Yeah. I couldn't turn it off. I just sat there and watched the whole movie.
Oh, God. It's so funny. All right. I love it. Love it a lot. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. Mark Spector's going to join us. We got the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate. We got a lot of texts to catch up on and get to on a variety of the different topics we had today. We talked a little bit of trade talk. We were talking about things that show you're getting older. And we still got a few beauties for that and more. But first, let's get to the con man. And a sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. You can lease a Chevy Track for $80 a week. Absolutely everything is on sale right now at Northgate to get you road trip ready. Northgate GM, your road trip headquarters, northgategm.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
John Cooper was named the Jack Adams Award winner as top coach in the NHL for this past season. His 3rd time as a finalist and first victory. He led the Lightning to a 50-26-6 mark, good for 2nd spot in the Atlantic. In the NBA, you got the finals getting going tonight. Spurs Thunder from San Antonio. Tip-off set for 6:30. Major League Baseball today. Jay is just about to get going with the Braves in Atlanta. We'll have that one for you here on our AM feed immediately following the Jason Gregor Show. 2 games underway right now, both early. Red Sox, Orioles, Padres, Phillies, scoreless. Later on tonight, the Yankees and Guardians. The Royals are in Cincinnati. Brewers host the Giants. Rangers get the Cards. Cubbies and Athletics. Pirates head to Houston with the Dodgers taking on the Diamondbacks earlier on today. Mariners fell to the Mets 7-1. Bo Bichette, 4 hits, 3 ribbies in the win. He also the White Sox over the Twins 8-0. Rays fall to the Tigers 7-2, and the Marlins over the Nationals by a score of 4-1. The Riverhawks in Victoria once again taking on the Harbor Cats. First pitch 7:35, and Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime team's run at Roland Garros has come to an end after he suffered a 4-set loss to Italy's Flavio Caboli in the quarterfinals. From the WNBA, Toronto taking on the Liberty. That one gets going at 5:30. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and get to Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the Power Play 24/7 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This deal's only good till 6 o'clock tonight. We need your credit card to hold the color. Hold the color. Summer package. Winter package. And the ever-famous re-PDI fee. I gotta pay you to rebuild the car? Does this sound familiar? At Northgate, we do things differently. We offer 0% financing, a great selection of new, pre-owned vehicles. So if you'd like to do business a different way, stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Mr. Rooter buries evidence in the desert.
I didn't mean to do it. I was forced into it. Yeah, forced. But now, no one will ever know. You've done well, Mr. Rooter. You did something awful, but you've covered your tracks. It's done. The last transcript that shows I did a semester of nutrition school.
Uncover evidence of the proudest plumber.
Gregor, Connor Halley.
Rooter.
At Wendy's, get a 10-piece nugget small combo for just $8.99. That's right, $8.99 for 100% Canadian chicken, plus fries and a drink. That's just good nuggenomics. Only until June 14th. In restaurant at participating Wendy's locations. Taxes extra.
Since the 1930s, the Dorchester name has been synonymous with chuckwagon racing in Alberta. And now, it's just as well known for golf. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is open for the season. A challenging 18-hole course nestled in the rolling coulees of central Alberta. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Big jobs, tight spaces, serious reliability. Emerald Equipment is now your local Yanmar dealer. Compact track loaders, mini excavators, wheel loaders, tough, reliable machines built for any job. JapaMachinery.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Just after 5 o'clock, you make your way home. You made it through hump day. Congratulations. The weekend is in sight. 2 more days and we're ready to roll. Hope you got big plans. I know a lot of you getting back out on soccer pitches tonight. The slow pitch, maybe at the golf course. Feel like being pent up for a few days with the rain. So it's good. Get outside, enjoy it. Running, biking. It's fantastic. That time of year, baby. And man, is everything green right now. It looks awesome. Welcome back to the Gregor Show, Alberta.ca, where, hey, if maybe you want to get some green and try out some of the Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials tonight at playalberta.ca. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can always text in your thoughts as we get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialist who is hiring, looking for operators, pipe layers, top men, and just looking to start. Maybe you need to change your career. Go to gsconstruction.ca. Look up careers if you want to work for an awesome company. Is Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us, and Spec John Cooper wins his first Coach of the Year. Some would say overdue. Others would argue that Lindy Ruff did a better job. What say you?
Well, first of all, he won by 3 voting points, 226 to 223 over Lindy Ruff. My money would have been on Lindy Ruff because he took a team. Let's face it, that team missed the playoffs for 14 years in a row, and they were dead and buried at, what were they when they fired Kevin Adams? Was that mid-November, would you say?
Yes.
November 10th, November 14th, as I recall. And Lindy got that team into the playoffs and was a powerhouse team all the way down the stretch, one of the top teams in the league. So personally, and we don't vote, the Adams is voted on by the broadcasters, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Broadcasters. So those bunch of dummies got it wrong, but I'm just kidding. Personally, I would have had Lindy ahead, but listen, it's a tough vote, close vote, and the majority rules.
Yeah.
How about you? Where'd you stand on it?
Yeah, I didn't have a big issue with it. I look at what Cooper did with all the injuries, Hedman, McDonough, Cernak, and you know what? All the guys who stepped in played really well. So I'll go with I have no problem with John Cooper winning. Because to me,
I got no problem with it either.
The first 25 games a year, not a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, Lindy Ruff was a great coach," because they were in dead last.
Yep. Listen, we can split this pie up however we want. I would say to you that Cooper has a way better program in Tampa from which to, a podium from which to coach, but he's part of that program. He's built it, helped to build it. Lindy Ruff starting, in a place of absolute failure for the longest time. His culture issues there were massive, and they managed to turn that around and find a winning dressing room out of a dressing room that's managed to do everything wrong for a decade and a half. So that to me is the bigger challenge in Buffalo, but Coop's a hell of a coach. He's earns it. I'm not going to take a Jack Adams away from John Cooper. No chance.
The game 1 of the Stanley Cup final, excitement galore, chances galore. And I thought, both teams afterwards, pretty honest in their assessments, especially Rod Brindamore. Hey, we just made too many mistakes, and now we'll see how they bounce back. But man, odds aren't in their favor for them to do it now. Florida did it last year, so it definitely doesn't mean you can't do it. But when you lose the first game at home in a Stanley Cup final, it's not great success rate usually.
It's not, but I feel like home ice advantage is less and less as we go on here in hockey. I want to say this, that like the hockey culture is that when your team scores a goal, we all say, man, our team made a bunch of great plays. And when your team gets scored against, we all go, man, my team made a bunch of mistakes and allowed that goal. I would say certainly the hurdle goal at the end was a great play by Sissons, puts it on against the grain of play, puts it on Hurdle's tape. He's got time to pick a corner, and he does. Brindamore is going to look at that game and say we gave up way more than we've given up all playoffs long, and he's right about that. That's not the game we thought we'd see from Carolina. So now we do this, Jay. They go, okay, you know, I'll give Brindamore's team a one-off. They gave up more than they planned to give up. They made some mistakes. Okay, fine. If you play game 2 and you give up the same amount, now I'm going to start giving Vegas credit, right? Now I'm going to look at Vegas and go, okay, you're earning these chances. You're making these chances. Maybe Carolina's defense isn't as rock solid. So let's see how the adjustments go. And let's talk after game 2. It's going to tell the tale a little bit.
Yeah. Moving to the order spec, the offseason now, you know, gets closer. It's 4 weeks away from free agency. The draft, of course, is even closer to that. And just like 3 weeks and 2 days. So
right.
I look at the orders, and July 1st hasn't been great for them the last few years. Jack Roslovic was unreal in October, but you know, free agency, and I've long argued free agency is rarely where you want to build your team. You might want to add a piece or two here or there, but big spending doesn't really work. Avoid small forwards would be my number one suggestion for the Edmonton Oilers, because it hasn't really worked for them in free agency. But so now we are a month away. You look at the goalie position first, spec, because if I look at priorities for the Edmonton Oilers offseason, it has to be goaltending number 1. Then I go to defensive players number 2. So you got Connor Ingram, and then you got a boatload of veteran UFA defensemen to sign if you want. You know, Bobrovsky, I just think he's probably going to be too expensive. You know, then you go down the list a little bit lower, and you've got guys like, well, Stuart Skinner, funny enough. Freddie Anderson, Talbot, Rittich, Tarasov, Comrie, Brossois, Mrazek, like, you know, Vanasek, not a great lineup. So where do you go and what do you do on your goaltending?
The safe play is to lock up Ingram and say, we know what we got. But does the safe play give you the goaltending you want? When you give me that list of goalies that you just did, I want to say to you, I want to judge that crop off of who's way better than Ingram. We know Ingram. I think if I'm the Oilers, I like Ingram. I think he's I like what he brought. I like the way he played. But I'd like something better than that. So who among that group is hands down a better goalie than Connor Ingram? Sergei Bobrovsky is. But, right, does the old Russian guy go from Florida to northern Alberta, buddy? What do you think? History tells me no chance, right? So I got to know if I even got a sniff at Bobrovsky. After that, give me a goalie in that crop you just named. Like David Rittich ain't the answer. Cam Talbot's not the answer. No, I'm not bringing back Stu Skinner, even though I don't mind the way he plays. But no, the ship sailed on Stu Skinner. Do you have a guy in that group not named Sergei Bobrovsky who you're telling me is hands down an improvement on Ingram?
I think there's one, Danil Tarasov.
Okay, but hold on a second. If Florida's losing Bobrovsky, they're signing Tarasov.
I know, but I think Tarasov's camp is waiting to see what if Florida re-signs Bobrovsky. I think Tarasov's like, I don't know, I might want to go somewhere else. We'll see, but I think that's why that's kind of the waiting game there, right? I think Florida's looking to see what they do here, and Bobrovsky's initial demands I heard were way too high. Like, he was hoping, and I understand why I asked. He's like, well, everybody else got paid. Although he's already being paid, but he's like, well, it doesn't matter. Boy. All these other guys got paid. Maybe I should get paid again. Like I'd heard the initial one was 5 years at $8 million a year. Well, I don't think he's going to get that. But
how old is he? 38?
Yes. So 37, I think it is. Yeah. He's looking at the Brad Marchand deal. Say, hey, wait a sec. I won 2 cups with you guys. This guy won 1. He got it all the way to 42. Why can't I? So I can understand why. Well, neither would I. But hey, never hurts to ask. So we'll see where it comes to, after that. And he'll be 38 in September. Bobrovsky will. So, but I think that now ideally maybe they just get both of them, right? Depending on it, and see what the money is, playing time, because Tarasov's numbers, man, were surprisingly pretty good on a team that was decimated by injuries.
Yeah, his numbers were good on a team that wasn't, frankly, good. Don't take that the wrong way. Florida's a really good team, but this year they had a lot of struggles. They weren't nearly as good as they used to be. So yes, I've seen Tarasov's numbers and they're excellent. But mean, there's a matrix there. I've also heard this Binnington to Florida rumor. I think, was it Valaquette talking about that, or Woodley, one of those goalie guys. So, I mean, if Binnington goes, Bob's out, and Tarasov's probably going to get more starts, but he's still not your number one. Do I see enough in Tarasov to pin my, if I'm Bowman and I look at Tarasov and my goalie people say, this is your guy, he could be a number one, well, then I'm selling the farm to get him. Like, what this organization needs is a goalie that can come in here and everybody believes in him, that he's a number one, because they don't have one of those guys. Jari's not that guy, and Ingram, I don't think he's that guy. Do you think everyone in that room and everyone in that organization looks at Ingram and says, this is the guy, he can take us to a cup? You think so?
Well, I don't know if you have to look at the goalie and say, okay, he's going to take us to the cup. It's just, and honestly, Spec, they can't say that, because I would the goalie and say, is this defensive commitment in front of me going to take me to a cup? Right? Like, there's no goalie that can win. Now the Oilers came very close twice, so they're not that far away when they commit to playing defensively. I don't think they committed as well last year, and obviously the new coach is going to have a say in that. Although I don't blame the coach solely for that. Like, the coach doesn't make the on-ice decisions at the end of the day. But so yeah, I could bring Ingram back, but like there's no clear like number 1 60-game starter guy out there. It's probably going to be that we hope Tristan Jarry plays better, and maybe he's a 40, 50-game guy, and the other guy is a 30 to 40-game guy. I think that's where they're at.
Well, that you're telling me that Jarry's my number one then. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, not necessarily. It might be 1 and 1A. Like, there might not be a number one.
Maybe. And I mean, I think you have to get your head. Like, I think we've had this conversation. It seems to me we have. My opinion is on the record. I don't think you're going to get a guy where you look at him and go, ha, we got him. Hellebuck, Shesterkin, Sorokin, Vasilevsky, of that quality. You're not getting that guy. You might get a young guy like an unknown like Tarasov. You might, like Philly got with Vladar. Well, Vladar was just a backup in Calgary, man. And I don't know how good he really is. Who knows? So my point is this. If we'll agree you're not getting one of the top guys, then you better damn well get your defensive game in order and get committed and have a proper defensive structure. So all of those guys who won cups named Aiden Hill and Antti Niemi and, guys who aren't Hellebuck and Vasilevsky, they won cups. There's guys out there with Stanley Cup rings, right? So if that's how you're going to have to win your cup, then you better be a hell of a lot better on the blue line and with your defensive concept. And that's, to me, who the Oilers have to be. They're not going to get the goalie we all dream about them getting, people. It ain't going to happen. So you better learn how to play proper defensive hockey much, much better than they did last season.
Yeah, no, that is totally fair. Lastly, Spec, the you look around the NHL and the finals here, and Carolina is good, and Vegas is obviously very good. There's all these rumors, Detroit and Kosa, right? And Sebastian Kosa. Where do you come out on a guy who's played one NHL game? Like, I have no problem if Edmonton acquires him, and maybe he's ready. I just don't know, right? And if you're going to do it, I guess it depends on cost, but I just don't understand why Detroit would do it. And like people are saying, wow, I've heard Augustine's been guaranteed a spot in Detroit. And if that's the case, then Detroit's got real bigger problems, because to just guarantee someone a spot on your roster, I don't buy it, right? Like, I'm not sold. I know that it's happened in the past. I think it's rare, but I know it's happened in the past. Yeah. And I look at Kosa and, like, where do you come out on a guy who's got one NHL game? He's been good in the American League, not outstanding, but good. Is he a guy that you would tie your carriage to in season number 3 for Stan Bowman?
Yeah, no. I mean, two things. I wouldn't give up on Kosa. If I, like, at this point, Detroit's trading him you're not giving up a ton for Kosa, right? If you feel like, if your goalie people tell you, we think this guy can really play, sure, I'm bringing him over here. I'm giving him a shot, but I can't in this Connor McDavid's second last season, possibly in Edmonton, possibly his last season in Edmonton. Am I going to go to war with Jarry and a guy that's played one NHL game? I can't do that, right? That my whole team starts the season out going, what? This is the goaltending you're giving us? A guy that's played one game and a guy that struggled like crazy last year? Bowman has to give his team a reason to believe in goal, Jason. Like this isn't the Calgary Flames where everyone goes to camp going, hey, we ain't winning nothing this year, but that's not who we are yet. We're going to try to win in 5 years. Edmonton has to believe they can win a Stanley Cup. If Bowman gives his team goaltending that they have no belief in, then he's failed this summer. Even if it's Ingram and Jari, you could say, hey, you know what? Those guys stop some pucks. I could sell that, but I can't sell Jari and Kosa. No chance. Can you?
It would be hard. Yeah, it would be. It would be difficult.
You go stand in front of Leon Draisaitl and say, okay, Leon, here's the plan, and lay that plan down for him. What do you think's coming back your way?
Fair point. Beck, what about one last one for fun? And I know that, hey, he's probably looking to cash in. I get it. But like the Oilers could use a little bit of now I think Colton Dock brings it, and I think he brought it, but I wouldn't mind some more.
Colton Dock.
I have two guys. I have Anders Lee on a short-term deal.
Always liked them.
And AJ Greer.
Ooh. Okay.
What do you think? Or I think about Greer is I would say I'd rather take a fourth line right shot center either way. A Stenlund or even a Nola Char, because I just think Edmonton needs a right shot center. Unless they think Curtis Lazar is the guy to do it.
No, Stenlund's. If Stenlund's my 4C, I'm happy with that. I like Stenlund. He's been good wherever he's been. I would say to you that who's the first guy you named that we liked? Anders Lee. How old's Anders Lee?
He'll be 36.
Yeah,
July 3rd.
Liked Anders Lee his whole career. He's been a quiet, John Tavares light type of player. Like I've always liked him. He always plays well when I watch him play, but too old for me. Greer's been good, man. Greer's a big, strong, hard, tough player to play against. But I think I need to start getting rid of some fourth line guys if I'm bringing some third, fourth line guys in. Like, is Janmark on my team this year? I think he is. I got a bunch of guys down there. What am I doing with all these guys, Jay?
Well, but there are a lot of guys that like Doc's the only one who brings you a little truculence. That's what I'm saying. Like I think AJ Greer is probably going to get paid too much, to be honest. But I would Stenlund, I would take it in a heartbeat.
Me too.
And I think because of the year he had in Utah, a little bit of a down year production wise and everything, you might be able to get him for a little bit less than what he got when he signed in Utah.
Nah, okay. What did he make in Utah?
$2 million. 2 point something million.
Okay. Well, the way the cap's go on him, you can't listen. He's coming here as a 4C. Like, I guess what we're talking about is we're trying to replace Adam Henrique here. Is that what we're doing?
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
I don't see Adam Henrique coming back.
Nor do I. So we're trying to replace Adam Henrique. And who's our 3C in this town these days? Is it Nuge or who is it?
Right now it'd be Nuge, yes. And I know people are like, hey, Gregor, what about Szymanski? Well, Szymanski can battle for a job, and maybe Nuge is your third line left winger and Szymanski's your third line center, and they play together. We'll see. But I'm not sold that Josh Szymanski is guaranteeing himself a spot on the team either. Like, he's played 25 games.
No, I'm not sold. But he's a nice guy to have challenging because I think we all like the way he plays and we all think he's going to get better. So good for the Oilers for having Szymanski around. That's okay. It doesn't mean you sit around, don't bring any good players in. So I'm with you on that. And between Szymanski and Nuge and Hopkins, I think I could say I've got my 3C spot. I mean, what about Dickinson? You signing Dickinson?
Well, I think the Oilers would like to, Spec. I just think it's going to cost too much. Like, I can't pay a guy $5.5 million who scored double-digit goals once. I can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. So if we're not bringing back Dickinson, then you need a 3C. I really like Dickinson here, but does he price himself out? Maybe price himself out, Jake.
Yeah. Wow. I think he might. And I get why he's going to test the market because he's 30 and it's probably his last chance to cash in. And I think somebody's going to pay him. So we'll see.
Well, if someone does. And remember, to me, a really important signing here is Connor Murphy. Right?
Oh, he's the number one guy. He's the number one guy.
Yeah, you got to bring back Connor Murphy, man. You got to bring back Connor Murphy after having lost Kulak. And I'd say this to you, don't think that Stan Bowman won't hang around and find out what Brett Kulak's asking this summer. You know, the story that I hear is that Kulak feels like he should be playing top 4 minutes and as such be paid like a top 4 guy. And I don't say he's wrong, and he has every right to say that. I think the Oilers don't look at him as a top 4 guy, and they don't want to pay him as a top 4 guy. So if someone in the league wants to pay Kulak top 4 money, he won't play here. If he's settling for top 5, you know, as number 5 money, third pairing money, Bowman will stand in line for that, I think.
Yeah, but they've already got Nurse, Ekholm, and Wallman. Why do you need Kulak on the left side unless you're moving one of them?
Well, that's a good question, right? Let's see what happens.
Yeah. There would have to be the trade for. If you trade one of them, then I'm lining up for Kulak for sure. Because the thing about Kulak, I know he can play top 4 if I need him in my top 4 for 15, 20 some games. But
yeah.
All right. So there you go.
Kulak a lot. All right, brother.
Spec, have a good one. We'll talk to you tomorrow. There you go. That's the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. A quick break. We'll come back. We got a lot of texts coming in on the Oilers, on the Elks, and more. It's a Gregor Show here. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Oodle noodle origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the New World. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
What a performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shaq-updated memory foam for exceptional comfort. Made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces. Exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
A lot of you love hockey season. But when it comes to construction season, you're not as excited unless you work for GS Construction. It's true. As one season is winding down, ours is winding up with all sorts of great projects to make the city we live in better. And our team is hiring. GS Construction is scouting for pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. So if you want to score a great job, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Start thinking spring road trips and off-road trips in your new Subaru Crosstrek. Stylish, rugged, and so many features. Standard on every Crosstrek. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, EyeSight driver assist technology, heated seats, and LED steering responsive headlights. Plus, with interest rates from 0.99%, you'll love the affordable weekly payments. No waiting, immediate delivery available. Subaru Crosstrek. Visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
The puck is passed up through the neutral zone, and here's a breakaway. He's coming in hot. He shoots it. Oh no, a broken stick. When it comes to performance, quality parts matter. Napa Auto Parts has all the reliable parts, tools, and more to keep your vehicle running like a playoff contender. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:30. Oh, it's a classic old school tune. How you doing on a Wednesday afternoon? Did you make your way home, or maybe you're making your way out to one of your kids' sporting events or other activities? After most people were cooped up for a few days in the house, but now you're out and about. Weather is nice. It's looking good for the weekend. Awesome stuff. You got lots going on if you're a sports fan. NBA championship tonight. You got the Jays in Atlanta. Jays scoring a run in the first inning. Good start for them. Lucas in the leadoff position gets a hit and then ends up coming around when Sanchez grounds into a bases loaded double play with no outs. Like, that's the other thing. Still terrible. Come on. Bases loaded, no outs. The last thing you want to do is ground into a double play. So the Jays were set up to get a lot more runs. They only end up with one. So still better than none, but still the offense of the Jays is sputtering far too often. Sputtering. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We got a lot of texts coming in. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to, on our show, I just don't think I can entertain Matt Savoy trades. Like, I'm stunned by the trade suggestions on the inbox day for Matt Savoy. Matt Savoy had 19 points in the final 24 games coming out of the Olympic break as a rookie. And if you go look at his rookie season in the American League, decent first half, came on strong in the second half. Figures it out. Cerebral player, smart player, got some more opportunity, took advantage of it. 19 points in 24 games. That's a 60-point pace, actually higher than a 60-point pace. So I think there's lots of arrows up for Matt Savoy that people are kind of sleeping on. Now, I'm not saying he's going to jump up to 60, but I think Matt Savoy could be a 45-point player next year. Should be really good.
If I were to play devil's advocate, would that not be a good trading piece if you were to bring in something else?
What are you bringing in?
Well, I mean,
Like,
and what do people want, right?
Well, they're talking about Cooley from Calgary. You're going to trade a backup goalie? Yeah, you might be okay. Like, why? You don't have to give up that much. Why do you want to give up one of your best assets for like, look at what goalies require in trades other than Tristan Jarry, who the owners get overpaid to get, right? You don't need to do it. So no, like, you got a player who's young, who cost effective. And I don't like, of course you can trade him. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to trade him. So I don't, I wouldn't be rushing into to trade him at all. Hey, Greg's, I've already got tickets to the home opener. I'm pretty pumped, I have to say. And maybe I'm drinking the green and gold Kool-Aid, but I honestly think the Elks are going to be better. 10-win team at least this year. Am I delusional? Give me your thoughts. Thanks. From Douglas. So 10 wins would be a 3-win improvement. It's a pretty big improvement. But keep in mind, the Elks last year, I can think of 2 games specifically where they had receivers open in the end zone, ball in their hand, dropped. Cost them 2 games. So let's just say they get one of those. They're at 8. Like, is a 2-win season doable? I think it is. Because here's the thing. The Elks schedule to start the year, you're on the road in Ottawa. Ottawa has a new coaching staff. They were a bad team last year. And we know historically, like, it's hard to just snap your finger and change when you're bringing a whole new coaching staff. Look at the Elks, right? Look at other franchises. It's hard to do. Ottawa wasn't very good last year. this is a team in theory, and it's theory, that you should say, hey, you should have a decent chance if we come out and play our game that we can win. Ottawa had the worst record in the CFL last year. They're 4-14. They only won 2 home games. So I'm not sure. Honestly, you couldn't have asked for it. Well, maybe Toronto. That would be maybe the only other better opening game, because I think Toronto, they don't look good either. So you start there. Then you get a bye week. And more importantly, you build. This team has never really been able to build some confidence early in a season. They've had good second halves of seasons. One time they actually went 7-4 after starting 0-7, but by then it was good night, Irene. But I look at Edmonton, and I don't think 12 or 10 wins is unrealistic, but it would be a very good season. If they got to 10 wins, that's a big improvement. They're 10-8. I'm assuming there's no ties. So I would take that as big. I think it's realistic. I don't think it's crazy, but like we're on to lots of things would have to go right for them to do that. Cons, where do you come out on 10-win season?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great. Last season, 10 wins would have got you crossover. It was 11 wins to make the playoffs in the West. So remember, the bar is pretty high, but we talked about it. You mentioned there, like, you just go through the season, Gregor, and there was a 3-week stretch where they lost the Riders in Saskatchewan by 3 points, lost the Tiger Cats by 4, and then the Als in Montreal by 1. Like, very close games. And then towards the end of the season, they lost the Argos by 1. They lost the Tiger Cats by 2. So, like, if you find a way to win 2 of those games, we know they probably should have won at least 2 of those games. You're in the playoffs, or, 2 more wins right there, right? So I just think that, the team, everyone is building that winning culture. They'll find a way to win those games. The following week, they did beat the Rough Riders. That was week 17 at home in a 1-possession game. Like, the good teams find ways to win those games, and that's what they're building up there. So, yeah, 10 wins would be great. It would be a ultra-competitive Western Conference. We know that, but that's how you get into the playoffs. I think they can do it. I think they were close in so many games. We just hammered it so many times. They just can't have that 0-5 start and put themselves in such a big hole to start the year.
This just coming down from Mitch Bannon, reporting that the Blue Jays are acquiring right-handed pitcher Simeon Woods Richardson. Obviously, they're decimated on their pitching staff right now, Cons, but the numbers they're not great for him right now. Now I know, like, he's 0-7 pitching right now this year, so that's not great in 47 innings pitched. So, giving up a lot of walks, almost over a walk per half inning, basically a half a walk every inning. Not great. 26 strikeouts in 47 innings, well below what he was. Like, last year he had 107 and 111. So I don't know. He's a young guy. He's 25 years of age, and maybe they're seeing if they can figure it out. I'll be curious what they did. I haven't seen the return yet, but so Bannon's reporting that one. Jays fans, they made a trade. So
long last name, had the longest last name on a jersey until that was surpassed by Christian Encarnacion Strand. How about that?
Oh, there's your random fact of the day from Connor Halley.
15 characters in a space. So if you want to go buy the jersey, it's arcing.
All right. Let's get to Cam Tate. 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Hey, maybe your furnace is done. Do both and you'll save even more at legacyheating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Cam has cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair. He's never let him slow him down. He's always wanted to be in radio. And now, through the wonders of technology, Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
Big news today. Big news. Big news. The Hockey Hall of Fame dropped this one on this June. Chris Cuthbert is receiving the 2026 Foster Hewitt Memorial Award for outstanding contributions as a hockey broadcaster. The ceremony's in Toronto this November. And I'll be honest with you, when I heard it, I just stopped. CC. This one means something. This is a guy who has been the voice in your living room, your car, your basement, for more than 40 years. Began in Yorkton Television with Sports 1440's Morning Man Carius in Yorkton, Saskatchewan, Edmonton, Toronto, anywhere in this country with a rink and a remote control. He called Crosby's golden goal in Vancouver. He was Hockey Night in Canada. 3 Gemini Awards, 2 Canadian Screen Awards, already in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. The man he collects Halls of Fame. That's just his thing, apparently. Yes. Let me tell you something. I was with CC one night after a tough Oilers playoff loss. The series heading to Dallas. Stars could eliminate Edmonton right there. Press conference wraps up. Everyone shuffles toward the bus, the big bird with the cast iron tail. And CC's got his wire-bound binder. He always has that binder. Always. He leans over, gives me a little tap on the knee with it, and goes, "See you back here for Game 6 in a few days." And he was right. Yes, yes. Now, this is a Saturday night in Edmonton. Game's over. He slips out the east door at Rexall Place, flags a cab, catches the red-eye to Toronto. His son's got a hockey game the next morning, and he is going to be there. That's it. No drama, no fuss. That's just CC. We're not supposed to cheer in this business. That's the deal. But sometimes, sometimes you just can't help yourself. And Foster Hewitt. Growing up, Foster Hewitt was hockey for me. That voice on Saturday nights. My hero. And now, my friend Chris Cuthbert wins an award with that man's name on it. Does it get any better than that? It doesn't. It really, truly doesn't. Yes, yes, yes. Congratulations, CC. You earned every single bit of it. 2-minute warning. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, and my goodness gracious, Donnie P. Don't forget to sign your organ donor card, y'all. This is Cam Tate, Sports 1440.
Yes, congratulations to Chris Cuthbert. Pretty big honor for him going in on the media side in the Hockey Hall of Fame. We'll come back. Final segment. Lots of text to get to 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 air conditioning install company for slushy lovers. Because while a slushy keeps you cool as an 80s song for a moment, AC from Legacy keeps you cold as ice all season long. A permanent full-body slushy sensation keeping you cold as ice with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Keeping you cool without the brain freeze. That's how you build a legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Our new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more. Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks, ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Cougar Creek Golf Resort is now open and in great condition. Experience our championship-length golf course, surrounded by trees and rolling terrain, and only minutes from Edmonton. Book a tee time today. Go to cougarcreekgolf.com and click on golf.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Up for a ride that truly matters. Join the Princess Auto Ride for Dad Edmonton, where hundreds of motorcycles fire up and roll out together in one unforgettable moment. Enjoy a scenic routes, great food, amazing prizes, fundraising awards, and a whole community riding shoulder to shoulder. Collect pledges to support prostate cancer research and awareness in the fight against prostate cancer. Ride strong, ride proud to make a difference on Saturday, June 13th, starting at Blackjack's Roadhouse in Nisku. Register now at ridefordad.ca.
Tired of the rough ride? Alberta used to be a leader in highway planning and construction, but years of neglect and cuts to maintenance are showing. You can see it, and your vehicle is feeling it. Infrastructure can last for years with a little TLC, but when repairs are deferred, minor issues become major reconstruction. We need action and a reliable capital plan. Contact your MLA and demand stable infrastructure funding. Find out how at fixourroads.com.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We get set to wrap it up Wednesday afternoon. Got a few texts. Hey, guys, if I'm the GM talking to Vancouver, I'd be looking to get Pedersen at $8 million, have them retain 3. And then he follows up. If 97 and 29 are playing together, I'd say they're missing a second line center from Hammer. Well, man, that's kind of a risk to bring in Elias Pettersson, for sure. For me, maybe you think he can bounce back. It'd be a risky venture, no question. As for Draisaitl and McDavid and on the same line, I look at it this way: if they truly want to win, they will realize that they are a better team when they center their own line. Don't be impatient because somebody misses a pass to you and be like, "I can only play with Leon." No. Play with each other 5-on-5 or on the power play. Maybe the odd shift after a penalty kill 5-on-5. The rest of the time, you center your own line. You're forcing the opposition to have to defend McDavid and Draisaitl for about half of the game 5-on-5 if you run them on separate lines. If you don't, you do it for like 28% of the game. I don't see why that makes any sense to me. I know the organization talked about it at the end of the year. I'm sorry. I just don't, I don't like it. I would not, I wouldn't do it. Hey, Gregor, do you know what Wyatt Johnson's 5-on-5 success in the 26 playoffs was? Best you could ever expect from Savoy. No, I don't. But how can you say for certain that, well, this one player, that's what he did, so that's the best possible outcome for a Matt Savoy? They're different players on different teams. I can't say that. Well, this is the best they can do. Right? Wyatt Johnson had one even strength point. So I'm not even sure why that one makes sense at all. I look at Logan Stankoven. He's not a big guy. There's different ways to control. I'm not saying Matt Savoy's a difference maker at all, that he's like a guy who's going to carry his line. But he's a young player who had a really good stretch down the stretch with 19 points in 24 games when given more of an opportunity after figuring out the league, and to want to trade him for a backup goalie in Calgary because he had one good year. And I like Logan Cooley, but I'm not giving up one of my best young players for him. Why? I don't have to. There's nothing out there that says I have to when I look at what other goalies have been traded for. Right? Usually a backup goalie, you're giving up a draft pick. You're not giving up a top 10 pick. That's what Matt Savoy is, a top 10 pick who in his first NHL season had a really good end of the season. Like, I think you have to be realistic about what your expectations are. Like, you can like Logan Cooley. It doesn't mean you have to fall in love with him and grossly overrate him and then be mad. I can't, because think about it. If the Oilers traded Savoy for Cooley, people would riot. They'd riot. There's no reason to have to do it. Hey, Gregor, what about an offer sheet for Cole Sillinger? $4.5 million. Oh, well, Cole Sillinger, he had a down year last year, right? He had an 8-goal season. There's one of those players, like, his negotiating power is really low right now. He could go to arbitration, but his arbitration case, his last 3 years, 33, 33, 32 points. That's what he's been for 3 years in a row. So yeah, he had fewer goals, 13, 11, 8, but it's been consistent 32, 33, 33 points. Why would I offer sheet him at $4.5 million? Like, he's played 5 years in the league. And his last 3 years are 33-point guys. You can like a player, but why are you grossly overpaying? Look what St. Louis did. They offer sheeted Broberg at $2.3 million. You want to offer sheet Sillinger at double that after he's played 5 NHL seasons. Now, he might be a late developer and emerge. Maybe get up to 50 points. Okay, maybe. I just don't see why you'd have to overpay to do it. That's all. And Columbus, looking at their cap situation, everything else, they probably match it. So that's why I do it. Hey, Gregor, I always like, because you bring up players I don't think about. Kevin Stenlund, just remember him dominating the Oilers in the playoffs. Yes. In his role as a fourth line, he's kind of annoying because the guy wins faceoffs all the time. And I believe, especially defensive zone faceoffs. I'm not talking offensive zone. I'm talking defensive zone faceoffs. 62% 2 years ago, 57% last year. And by the way, he took 657 defensive zone faceoffs for Utah. And he won 57% of them. He won more defensive faceoffs than any Oiler even took defensive zone faceoffs. Adam Henrique had the most at 310. That's why I like a guy like I'm looking deeper to say, okay, how can I help my team in specific situations? I get a guy who can win faceoffs on the penalty kill. My penalty kill stinks. So if I can win the draw and get the puck down, I'm automatically saving 20 seconds off every time. Maybe 25 by the time they get set up again. So yeah, I would be highly interested in Stendhal. I was interested in him 2 years ago, and Utah signed him at $2 million. If I'm Edmonton, I'd look at him. I know cost is a factor, but they need a right shot center. And now he's more of a righty, more of a fourth liner than a third line. Have yourselves a great night, everyone. Hey, Nathan Lucas, round tripper. You can listen to the Jays coming up right after Connor Halley in a Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Stable jobs create stable lives. HireGood.ca. Good night.
The Sports 1440 update.
In case you missed it, John Cooper is named the Jack Adams Award winner as the top coach in the NHL this season. His third time as a finalist, his first victory. He led the Lightning to a 50-26-6 mark. Game one of the NBA Finals goes tonight from San Antonio. Spurs Knicks tip-off in 35 minutes in the majors. As Gregor mentioned, Nathan Lucas solo shot his first of the year, puts the Jays on top of the Braves by a score of 2-1. We'll have that one for you next here on Sports 1440's AM feed. Elsewhere, Yankees Guardians tied at 1. Royals lead the Reds 2-0. Rangers, Cards, Brewers, Giants both scoreless. Later on tonight, Angels in Chicago taking on the Cubs. The Astros host the Pirates. Angels and Rockies with the Diamondbacks get the Dodgers. Earlier today was the Marlins over the Nationals 4-1. And Bo Bichette had 4 RBIs for the Mets and stayed down the Mariners by a score of 7-1. The Edmonton Riverhawks on the road in Victoria once again. First pitch, 7:35. Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime seems run at Roland Garros has come to an end after he suffered a 4-set loss to Italy's Flavio Caboli in the quarterfinals. CBL Edmonton trails Brampton at 24-19 in the first. In the WNBA, the Tempo lead the Liberty 2017 after 1. Coming up next around Sports 1440, we've got Blue Jays baseball on the AM dial. If you're streaming, it's Fox Sports Radio. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
From the first face-off to the final whistle, Sports 1440 is